tie it down. Hey, and we're back. Funny how this time goes so quickly. Seems like we just did the podcast, and here we are doing the podcast again. Ooh, that is spooky. There is something on set, and I believe it's Tom.
Well, hello, everybody.
Welcome to Tom's Bloopers. Welcome to the Outhouse podcast, where we talk shit about shits. How do you really know, Tom? How do you really know?
Oh. I don't hear him.
You had him just a minute ago.
Don't know why.
All right, let's get this ironed out. I see things are tuning in. Yeah, I love this. Oh, the magic, the Hollywood magic. We got Lennon Strain and the lovely Miss Chrystal. We're going to be talking about everything art tonight once we get everything going. Oh, there he is. Nice. Look at that. Can you control his volume and bring him up just a
I sure can. Say something.
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 Hello.
I disappeared. I'm gone. I don't get myself at all, Tom. Hello. I'm gone again. And there we are. Silky, sexy, makes me moist.
Who wasn't it? You? Who wasn't
Hello.
Lennon Strain.
I think we're all in there now.
There he is. And Miss
Yo.
Bella. Hey. Oop. Just put her on the floor. She's coming over to say hi to you. She likes your little
You know
female
what's really
aura.
weird? This thing was acting up the board and it wouldn't connect, and then I shut it off and restarted. Now it's got half. It's got 3 different settings in one going on right now.
Wow.
It's got our podcast, Black Rain's show, and Jeremy's show all
Tweaked.
telling me that it's all on there at the same time. I'm like, what
Wow. Well, let's just start over then. Start it over at the
It's
top.
got to tweak a little bit. That's all. I'm not starting over. It's up there.
There you go. Up above.
It's up
You were
above.
close.
You
You were close,
they
Miss
didn't
Chrystal.
see it.
You were off by
It's
about
the
12
camera,
inches.
not the TV screen. Go closer. Get a little closer. Don't be shy.
Don't be afraid
There
of the
you
camera.
go.
Lemon Chrystal.
There it is.
Lemon Chrystal.
What's up, y'all? Who's it? What's up, Gary?
Yeah, Gary in the house already. That's awesome.
Yeah,
All
I wonder
right, I
if-
see people tuning in.
I wonder if Dave Sutton, the chat room heckler, will be in tonight.
And they're stirring up shit. Miss Chrystal, you can see right there in what people are saying. And if anybody directs any questions, we can try to answer them.
Oh, I forgot to get that mic set up for what's her name, too.
We could do that maybe in the moment if it happens. Do you want to read the disclaimer?
I do. And that would be: the views and opinions expressed by the individuals in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of the Outhouse podcast and its affiliates and the guests.
The
So in other
guests,
words,
our beautiful
fuck
guests.
off if you can't take a joke.
Put a quarter in every time someone says the F word and knocks over the conch.
The big cock in the top.
Then a quarter goes into.
Do you see the size of that cock?
That's right. It's huge. It goes in
It's
there.
a huge cock.
That's the
It
mascot.
accepts money, too.
That's right. And the quarters go in for a charity, Tom. What's that charity?
The charity is Humble Creatures Veterinarian Clinic on Cleveland Avenue. I don't know the quite address.
Excuse me.
I do have it, but I don't have it with me.
Well, I got to go,
But you can Google that shit.
as luck would have it, with the almighty oracle, Miss Dolores, to the Humane Society Gala Saturday night. What a wonderful event. And it goes to, all the money goes to such a great cause. Because, you know, those animals have to be taken care of before all that stuff gets closed out, you know? And it was really, really good seeing that many people that are involved behind the scenes get recognized. And Humble Creatures was there in the audience. I know I heard him called out a few times, but I didn't get to meet them. So I'll probably meet him face to face whenever we go and give them the
their
money.
change.
Yeah, because a lot of people have dropped that F-bomb in here more when they found out what the charity was going for, because that's a good story you told, man. During COVID, you know.
Well, I don't think it was actually during COVID.
Well, it was
thereabouts. Right around, yeah.
Yeah, it was thereabouts.
But regardless, they hooked me up.
Right,
so
they
that's
did you
what
right.
the deal was.
So we got Lemon Chrystal Art Gallery and Art Sanctuary and Art Everything Art, and I'm really excited to have
fancy over here.
You really messed my partner up at First Friday. He saw your triptych, you know, and
Listen, man.
he's been telling everybody about it. He
This
is your
fucking
biggest fan.
Oh, just did it again. This painting is unbelievable. In fact, I was actually showing somebody else today. I was like, yeah, these guys are going to be on the podcast. Look at this painting. This is the one side. This is the middle. This is the other side. Look at all the animals around the edge. It's got fire. Oh, it's so awesome. This some bitch is going on my wall. I promise you I'm buying off. And they want 7 stacks, boy.
He was mystified by that
fucking
piece.
thing. Oh, see, I'm already.
Look at that. You're in deep already
I
because
know
I
that
mentioned
thing.
it. There it is.
There
Show
it
to
is.
him. So Tom saw this
See,
piece.
man, it don't. You just can't.
There
you don't
it
even
is.
know. That's cool on the phone. You can't see it, whatever.
It's
but
extremely detailed.
go down and check it out. Where's it at?
You can find it on my Facebook page, Lennon Strain.
Nah, you got to see it in
It's
person.
currently on show at Patina
That's
Arts
what
Gallery.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Boom.
Patina
Go down
Arts
there
Center.
and look at this painting, and you'll freak out. And don't buy it because it's going to be mine.
It
I just need
really-
a couple minutes to come up with the money.
It was really
I
wild.
got to go hit a couple dairy marts or something.
Hey, Lennon, how much do you want for that painting, baby?
I have 75,000 on it.
So $75,000.
It's quite
it's
something
gonna
to
be
wake
mine.
up your
It's
mind.
huge. And I love it too.
Mine.
I love it too.
It's badass,
And
folks.
The fact
When you
It took
stare
me
at it,
3 years to complete.
when you look at it for real, the shit jumps out at you and whatnot. It's amazing. It's the first time I ever had a
your biggest
painting
fan.
do something to me and mess with my mind, and I loved it.
There you go. It touched him.
It
did.
did in
It
a
did.
subtle way.
We were having a really shitty night in that moment.
Yeah.
Things were really
Actually-
just, worlds were colliding, and it was just a really weird energy. And when we came in there, it took our mind off of all of that.
And what was even crazier is them guys went in and I had a full drink, and I'm like, nah, man, I'm not going. I got
I
this
talked
drink.
him into it.
No, it was like, you remember you guys went in and I was outside, and then I seen all these other people going in with drinks, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I walked in and I walked
right
around
in.
and seen you guys, and then we walked back around and come up to that, and I was like, the story for me is as I was walking up to it and I got about 4 foot from it, it kind of made me dizzy, and I was like, whoa, that's weird. And I didn't realize it was the painting because I was staring at it as I was walking up to it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. And I'm looking at it and I'm looking at it, and I go to the middle one and I'm looking, I was like, oh, that's awesome. I go to the right
gotta
side and
give
I'm
you
like,
a-
wow. And then we're coming back, and then that's when you started telling the story of it and all the shit that you was doing and what the animals meant and the certain things that you put in personally and all that type of stuff. And then I went to that left side and squared
You
up
gotta
to
love
it
that, Lennon.
and just
Gotta
started
give you an Art
staring
Chubby.
at it, dude. And
Art
it was
Chubby.
like, bam! I was like, holy shit, dude. It amazed me,
Art
dude.
Chubby.
Whatever you did,
You mystified him,
whatever,
man.
yeah, whatever,
Master illusionist. Lennon
whatever, yeah,
Strain.
whatever. I was gonna say,
See something different every time you look at it.
That's right.
whatever things you used in this universe to paint that with, it worked. That's all I'm saying.
And as
I'm saying, go look at the motherfucking painting.
put a quarter in, son.
Thank you.
So, I like the fact that you got that kind
Almost
of
out of quarters. I gotta
reaction
shut up.
out of him, because we've all been in the art world for a long time. We all
Hey,
know each
listen.
other in this circle right here.
I don't
because
get
we go way
excited
back.
about too many things.
Right. And I was really, I've gone on about it too. I was really glad that you had that reaction, because it is kind of cool that I can talk to you about art now sometimes, because
Maybe.
I have all kind of stuff
We
that I
shall
love in that
see.
world. Right. We're gonna bring you up right. So
Don't
you
scrub you
guys,
down, boy.
the two of you, I shouldn't say you guys, have this new art venture. What is it? And where is it?
It's the Lemon Chrystal. It's downtown Main Street, Alliance, Ohio.
And what are your guys' hours?
hours. What hour is it right now? We don't have set hours just yet.
Okay.
We are in the early development of the project. I
Okay.
don't know about this microphone thing, y'all.
The earpiece.
It won't stay in.
I'm always concerned about those earbuds. I like these old-fashioned waffle things. It just sounds so good.
It's gonna flatten my throat, dude.
Did you try it upside down?
Upside down.
Mm-hmm. Like I did in the
Go back
beginning, joking around.
over top of here.
Ah, yeah,
All
right.
right,
We're
there we
backwards.
go, baby. So Lemon Chrystal is located at 412 East Main Street, right over by Pocket Change Antiques, couple doors down from the old Jupiter. We are an artist sanctuary or an artist community. We're gonna have the two of our brands, which my brand is Ghost of Reality and Lennon's brand is.
Painting turtle.
So we're going to be selling a variety of services, merchandise, custom art, as well as acting as a creator space, as well as opening up for special events.
Nice.
And an art store, art supply store.
You guys are really busy.
What sort of art supplies do you want to sell over there at Painting Turtle, Lennon?
All kinds.
Do you sell paintbrushes, Lennon?
We
How
will,
about
yes.
oil paints?
Yes.
Paint?
Hand stretched canvases,
Nice. That's cool.
There you go.
framing.
Are you going to build the frames?
Yeah,
Cool.
we got all the equipment.
Nice. So it'd be handcrafted, everything, y'all. You hear that? You hear what he's saying to you?
Sketchbooks.
We'll have merchandise services, screen printing, sublimination, vinyl. We can design your band t-shirts, your business's merchandise, and put it on t-shirts, hats, koozies, whatever you want.
Awesome.
Help you market and reach the counterculture.
And you guys got your hands in a lot of pies there, right? And we were talking outside before we came on about just how many things you're involved in. Is there anything else you want to shout out? Because you really are involved in a lot of really great things.
We have a couple big murals coming up, and we recently did a big show at Ingenuity in Cleveland. If you haven't been there, you should definitely check it out. Both my work and Lennon's work are going to be featured in a large-scale mural in Ingenuity for Ingenuity Fest. So you'll definitely have to check out their websites. Lemon Chrystal has a big art opening coming up on August 3rd. It's called Painting with Angels. We have a current open artist call where we're calling for artists to submit work themed on angels, both conceptually and break the mold, man.
Nice.
We don't need a traditional theological biblical angel. Break the mold. What do you see from that term?
We're gonna do live painting, right?
Yep.
And what was the thing you were talking about, Lennon, in the park?
We got a show of art in the park in Salem. What is that? August.
Waterworth Park this Saturday from 10 to 3. You can see Lemon Chrystal's new booth. And Lennon and I are going to be painting live.
Awesome. Now, I didn't know that you guys had done that. That's a collaborative piece, right, that you showed me when we were walking by?
The Moth,
Yeah.
Luna Rising. Yes.
That was
Disappearing act.
right there in the outside of that piece that struck Tom. And you were talking about that. Was that the first piece that you guys ever did together like that?
Kind like
And-
that. But,
Yeah, no. We usually do shows together. And
yeah. It was definitely a monumental first for us.
Now, we all kind of met around the same time. How did you get in and get started, Lennon? Because you and me, we met years ago, and we started by talking about comic books, because you're doing this comic book that you've been working on for a minute.
yeah, 35 years.
That's right.
That's a big minute.
And then we were talking about all kind of heavy things like layouts and plot points and everything else, and how to expand and how to edit and everything. Because at these parties, we were the two comic guys. So when did you get started in that whole art world? Like, when did you decide you wanted to be an artist, man?
Oh,
That's a complicated question.
It always is. It is for every artist that gets
I
asked.
started when I was
Born, man.
I'm going to ask you the same
yeah,
thing.
I was
Hey,
born
man.
with it. So I was started when I was 1.
There you go. So you came out of the womb drawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started painting when I
He
was
came
4.
out with a crayon, like, hey man, where's the wall?
Yeah. Then I just started doing doodles and little characters and making my own kind of stories and stuff.
Right. And were you doing like the superhero stuff back then? Is that what you started right out into?
I got influenced by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That was the big. I remember you telling me that. We were talking about that together back in the day. How old are you?
43.
43. And I know you can never ask a lady her age, so I'm not even going to try. I'm not even.
She's
gonna
27.
Ask. Yeah, that's perfect. 27. I was going to guess 25. So, was it the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon
Wow,
that
Lennon,
you
didn't
were
realize
into?
you were
The
that old.
movies more.
The movies? It wasn't the Eastman and Laird comic?
Yeah, I got into the comic books, and I just started drawing them. And
When did you start this book? 35 years. So you were a kid when you started it. So what you
well,
started
I created the
plotting
character
it?
in '96.
And do you have
I
like a...
wrote the story in college, 2003.
Do you have like a breakdown or an idea of the story that you would like to get out there? Like anything before it comes out? Anything you want to share? You showed me some of that art.
Something like
and
a
it is
futuristic government, almost like
I know.
superhero what do you call it? Collaboration or something.
There's a lot of characters involved.
I got like 380
Man.
page story.
35 years is a long time, man.
Yeah, so
Are you almost done?
Are you?
That's what I
Lennon?
asked.
it's true. It's truly never done. So.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's
We
a
got
whole
to start
universe.
making them into little short stories things or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's a whole universe. What got you? So you were
creating a
watching...
universe.
Remember the Saturday morning cartoon? Were you watching that too?
Yeah.
I remember the video game was really cool because I was a senior when that came out, so I took a lot of shit for being a fan. But I was a total fanboy. I was into the comic books and everything. And when the action figures came out, I was an early figure collector too. So I picked all those up. And I remember I had to drive the guys home from basketball practice, and everybody was throwing their bags in the trunk. And I opened the trunk, and I forgot those stupid figures were back there. And man, I heard about it the rest of my senior year about being a doll collector. And Badinsky's a doll collector. I heard about that shit all the time because of those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle
Well,
figures.
that explains why you're gay now.
Oh, God. I know. That one came back this week, too. That's a good one. I don't
Everybody's
care.
running around saying he's gay.
Yeah,
Everybody's a little gay.
there's a lot of rumors going around out there. And I'm not even on the internet right now. So, you know what? As long as they're talking, I guess. I don't care what it is. I was a Satanist a couple weeks ago, they were saying. So,
If they're talking, you're doing something
Yeah.
right.
that's right.
Exactly.
As long as they're talking, that's all I care about. Keep tuning in. Keep tuning in, everybody. Keep tuning in.
Never know what's going to happen
So how
around
about
her.
you, young lady? How did you get into like the art thing? Like, was there a thing you remember, a point where you remember thinking, you know, I'd really like to make this my life?
I never wanted to be an artist. I'm pretty sure nobody sits around and says, hey, I want to be an artist. If they do, well, they're not really an artist.
Now are
So, I mean, being an artist kind of chooses you. So I was one of those artists like Lennon who were just kind of born different. So
the
I
artist
started
is-
showing art in the public galleries when I was 11 years old is when I won my first art award. I was kind of like that disappointing prodigy.
What was your medium?
I prefer my heart always belongs to oil paints, which you
Oil
know
paint,
cause
Yeah,
cancer
that's
in the
me.
state of California.
I love oils.
But luckily, I don't live in California, so I'm good.
I do acrylics.
And and that's how it was. Yeah. And I like acrylic. I started with acrylics. Acrylics are nice because they dry overnight, and oils, it's just they take longer.
I like to take forever. Everyone
like
knows that.
months.
Yeah. Yeah, for
And
sure.
You can do a lot with oils. I really enjoy working with oils.
My heart belongs to oil painting, but nowadays
What
I
are
do a
you
lot of
doing?
fashion design and installation work,
Nice.
curating, and administrative programming.
And
things
see,
like
that
Oh,
makes me
she
want to
just
ask
peed
you
my
your.
cup.
That makes me want to ask you your. Oh my God, that makes me want to ask you your age in a way, because you're kind of like doing what we're talking about doing now. Where
I'm 27. Lennon told you I'm ageless beauty.
But you're doing it. You're a worker. That's what I was telling you outside about how I kind of.
When you think of that, my LLC Ghostwriters, the theme is the ghost behind the scenes, because I'm behind a lot of projects you might never know I'm behind.
That's right, and you're helping people get ahead, which is awesome. That's what I was going to say. And once we get to that certain age, we were talking about that.
Hello,
we still
you're a
create,
humble creature.
We still create, and we still do the art thing that we love because we're drawn to it, because it's what we are. But you get to that age then where you see what you've been a part of and you want it to continue on after you. So you help those ones coming up behind you. And it seems like you're really into that. Like, it seems like that's your real calling, the way Dolores from Planet Artist. You're all
Honor
about
to.
helping people find their voice.
I always looked up to Dolores. She's a real legend in the arts.
Well, she said she might
sure.
stop in. I hope she does, because it'd be fun to have her crash for a minute and be the voice of reason in the back, because she said she might. That's not a threat. She said it might be a promise. We'll see. I hope she makes it out.
See.
She's getting ready to take a much-needed vacation pretty soon, so I want her to, be able to come in and relax and not have to worry about being on that camera we were all talking about up there. So you were 11 whenever you first got into it. Now, did you get into the superhero stuff at all?
Well, I started painting early on, way before that. I won my first award and had my first exhibit in a museum at 11.
Okay, so when did you? How old were you when you picked
My
up the
first
brush?
exhibit was at the Butler in Warren. The location's currently closed.
Okay.
I started painting as early as I can remember, like Lennon, as early as I can remember. I do remember I got my first oil painting set at 8, and that's when my love of oil painting started.
Nice.
My love of fashion started at Jupiter when I was curating at Jupiter in downtown. I met a woman from Hot Ohio Magazine, Jackie. Hey, Jackie. And she turned me on to fashion and fashion design.
Yeah.
So that's when I started my brand,
I like
Hosted
fashion.
Reality. So
I love fashion, especially those models. Those tall models.
Them ones with the legs that go all the way up and make an ass out of themselves.
I was just waiting for that, Tommy Two-Tone. I was just waiting for
You
that.
knew it was coming.
I knew it was. I could see you coming a mile away. So the comic book, can we look forward to that soon? Because you and I have had this conversation a few times, Mr. Lennon, and I love what you were showing me.
Hopefully, I'm by myself, so.
So whenever people want to, are you giving people little teasers on your?
Yes.
Where can we see your stuff out in regards to the comic book?
It's on Facebook again.
Facebook.
But painting, it's Blue Time Comics.
That's the name we're going to use.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love comic books.
Named
That
after-
medium's my favorite.
Pretty much named after my dog.
What kind of dog?
Boxer Sharpei mix.
We love our
He's
babies.
got one blue eye.
Now, is this going to be something that's going to be, I think we had this conversation before, but you weren't sure. Is this going to be a one-off that's going to have a beginning and a definite ending? Or are you going to leave it off like a cliffhanger that could be, you're going to continue on with like a book 2 that takes 32 years to do?
at this point, it's a graphic novel.
Yeah.
Lennon.
Yeah, it's just going to continue.
Nice. I like the graphic novel format. That's how I wrote
Definitely.
a lot of my stuff. And
The first book's 44 pages.
right, and that's awesome. That is a great first book. 44 pages, it gets you in there. That's a nice long story.
The detailing is beautiful.
I added in the.
I'm amazed by what he showed me the color panels look like now. That he has stuff uploaded on the computer, because I saw some of the stuff as it was coming along over the years.
So have I. And the
And-
transition from paper to digital platform.
Yes, it's awesome.
It's exquisite.
It's crazy.
The
It's
robots.
I use a.
Don't give away
13.
your secret sauce.
I use a 13-inch tablet now to do all the comic book stuff. So.
I seem to remember you being over at Jay's the one time and saying that you were using that tablet, and you had just gotten a tablet at that point, and you were talking about how you were learning how to use it, and we were talking about that out in the garage. And it's wild to me that all those years to now,
By my damn dog.
it's getting done.
I'm using kind of a old school, new school with the dots and the solid color.
Right. I really like the way that the art scene seems to be growing in this area. I'm a rare book dealer, and
What we're trying to do with the lemon crystals.
I'm buying lots of art books all the time. I got some real nice art stuff from some big shows, and I got some really nice rare stuff too. And I tell you, there's a real love for local art in this area, because I can't tell you how many times I've seen like local artists that we know in these estate auctions and sales, and the kind of value that some of that stuff is still commanding. It's great. It's good to see that there's local people that are doing it and doing it well.
Ohio does have a thriving art scene, underground and climbing up.
And the music scene's the same way, and that's what we're trying to do with this, is have a platform where we can talk about this stuff. And I was telling Tom when we were doing the bumper for the show, we were trying to decide who and what to put up there and everything. And I was like, well, man, everybody always says Picasso, Starry Night. Look up Picasso. And then I was like, or not Starry Night, but Van Gogh.
I'm glad you used Van Gogh. That's one of my favorites.
And mine too. And
I liked the ear animation. That was cool.
The ear. And I'm like, dude, you got to get that ear in there, dude. I was like, I love it.
It was like dancing.
Wiggling.
I got a couple nice Van Gogh books too, and the scene seems to be alive and well. I have not gone to a First Friday in about 16 years.
Me neither.
I know. I haven't seen you there in a long time.
Yep, I kind of just.
Or Dolores, not in a long time.
Right.
Lennon either. That was the first time Lennon's been at a First Friday in ages, isn't it?
We'll be back.
I'm always steady at
at
First
least
Fridays.
10 years, maybe.
I had a slight
about 16 for
hiatus
me.
during COVID, but I kept going with First Fridays on a regular basis.
Well, it's weird because it was 16 years for me, and like we were all down at the Magnet at the hot dog stand.
Yup, back
Greg
in the
Hawko,
day.
right? And he was a city councilman that was friendly.
You're giving my
and he
age
gave
away
us that
now. They're
spot.
starting to think there's no way I'm 27.
He gave us that
The
spot.
jig is up.
And we made the most of it, and that whole time period when it was really banging down there were quite a few galleries too that we were talking about earlier. 2nd April being one of them, and Acme with Dylan and Mark, and none of those are down there now, but there are still some places.
It's changed so much.
And it has in a huge way.
It's built up, and then
There's a lot more people showing.
So it almost seems like there's.
When you said your dog
it's
had
gotten kind of clicky
two
though.
colored
It's gotten
eyes.
clicky.
I heard that
Yeah.
too. I had heard that too. But I've been hearing that a lot from the
I-
beginning, that it's kind of.
I just worry about making the art and sharing
I'll
the
dip
art.
in
You
here
know.
in a minute. Let him go.
No, it's okay.
Oh, what I was going to say is when he said his dog had the blue eye, it reminded me of my dog. This is the dog that I took the Humble Creatures to have put to sleep because she was seizuring. She had seizures after she wouldn't stop having
She was his
seizures.
baby.
Yeah, she was.
She was his baby. What was her name?
Cookie.
Cookie.
She was actually my stepdaughter's dog, and then they had to move and couldn't keep her or whatever, so I took her.
Right.
She was a great dog, man. She was such a sweet animal.
It's funny,
I miss
everybody's able to resort to their phones, and I've been off now for 2 weeks, almost, and it is just, it's a blessing and a curse because you
Yeah.
miss it like crazy when you need it,
But
number
at the
one.
same time,
But at the same time, you're right. That sigh of relief, man.
I
One
missed
more
life
time.
without a cell phone. I was probably the last person to get a cell
There's my
phone.
dog.
I kind of
I waited as long as possible when that started.
You remember Blue, probably.
Yep. I remember
love me some dogs.
You know, it's funny, dude. You're jogging my brain today because there's a few times over at Jay's house where you and me did spend some time talking.
You look like Dr. Evil over there with Bella in your lap.
And when oh, God.
Just
Well,
stroking.
You know,
He's over there
I'll take
talking,
it.
stroking the dog.
I'll take it.
That's funny.
Well, you know, it's better than all the
Better
other
than the
shit
queer,
I've been
right?
hearing this week, you know, that's been drifting back to me. You know, I don't
Being
care either
gay
way.
or
I
whatever it
really
is.
don't, but it's just
These
so.
days, I don't know.
Yeah.
You got pronouns, Ed?
Eddie. I'm Big Eddie. I'm Big Eddie. And I'm not, you know,
Ed,
I'm
and
not-
Eddie?
I am looking for a lady, just not right now. I'm not looking for Miss Right now. I'm looking for Miss Right. I'm still that romantic, you know.
Word.
How long are your?
That's right.
How long are you guys going to be at the gallery downtown where we saw you guys at? What's the name of it again?
Patina.
Patina?
Patina hangs for 1 month. So we do have several pieces in there. I have my encaustic, the last encaustic that I did, Fishing for Souls, is on show. Our joint painting that we did as a collaborative effort for like
Sorry,
the first painting we did together, isn't it, Lennon? I mean, we did special effects together, but we didn't do any painting. We painted in tandem. So like he worked on one painting and I worked on another painting beside him. But I do believe that Luna Rising is the first painting we actually did together.
And that's the one that was hanging
Especially
right
in
there
that scope.
that you were showing me.
Yeah.
The one
Yeah, I was. Well, and the reason I led with that question there, kind of when we first started talking about you guys being there, was, or can we expect some more of those now?
Yes,
seems like
definitely. We're going to be doing some murals all around. So you can see us in Cleveland, coming soon to Salem. We're going to be doing, I already have a mural in Downtown Alliance, and I'll be working on another series of murals, this time with Lennon. And it feels great to have my best friend back in, hello?
There you
Hello,
go.
Mike.
Did you cut out?
Yeah, probably for the best.
No, I hear you just fine. Did you cut out in your ear?
Yeah, I did.
Sometimes it does
it does
weird
that
things.
sometimes, right?
We don't know why.
And I tried doing it without the earphone, but
I did 3 murals in Maslin.
3 murals in Maslin.
Yeah.
They
that's
have you in the
can
padded
you say
room.
that?
Yeah, in the padded room. It's at Sheet Metal Workers.
They're brilliant.
Yeah.
And the most stunning thing I think about Lennon's mural process is he does it all by hand. No projector, no assistance.
Oh,
No,
nice.
it's
Freehand.
Nice.
it's purely beautiful.
Nice. And not everybody does it that way, because she's
They
right.
do not.
The
With the old eyeball.
the projector is an awful nice way to go.
I'm gonna fess up. We projected the one in Alliance, but it was super fun to do.
Now, okay, so for
And we did do it digitally and then projected.
Okay, so
it
for-
was by hand.
So for
and
the
then-
novices out there that don't know what the hell we're talking about right now, what does it mean to project a painting?
Lennon, you want to take
Do you want
that?
to explain the technique of
You
what that
use,
means?
a projector, like a computer or a digital projection of an image.
Or
And then
even
you trace the image.
an overhead projector even.
Sometimes it's an image you already drew, and it aids in the process of the composition and the way that you line up the mural. And it's really brilliant and unique to do it without using a projector.
That's right.
It's,
Correct me if
It's
I'm
just
wrong.
a testament
It's
to
called eye-hand coordination
Lennon's
or mathematical
skill level.
Right.
His
Right.
skill level is absolutely
It's
impeccable.
just
That's
ma-
right.
It's just mathematics.
That's right.
I might be his biggest fan.
Now tell me if I'm wrong, but didn't Norman Rockwell get accused of doing that? Using the projector to get his life?
Now, if you design the image yourself or your team and you're projecting it, it's not the same thing as if you're using somebody else's images to trace or.
Okay, so that's what I was going to
We're
say.
getting into a controversial
It's a real-
discussion
that
here.
is,
I'm
that's a
not
heavy
trying to
one.
rub any shoulders the
And I'm
wrong
not
way
either.
here, Eddie.
I'm not either, but correct me if I'm wrong, though. Isn't that a popular rumor that that's how he got
Mm-hmm.
his lifelike?
Yeah, and a lot of artists do that. And
I just consider it a technique.
I don't.
to each its own. Some people are
And you're
just
right.
born with rare innate skill, and others
Absolutely.
have to nurture theirs and learn through projection.
Right.
Each one,
So there's no dissing to that. But when somebody doesn't, it's just purely,
It blows your mind.
yeah.
And now, I totally
One
get
and
what
always
you're
blows
saying.
my mind.
Right. When you get around a real artist, a real artist, that can create like that, it's amazing.
Each one's like 14 feet by like 6 feet. I have second one is 15 feet by 8.5.
That's a pretty big
And,
painting.
we were talking about your shirt outside. And
Yeah, this is my design.
we were talking about that drawing that you were doing that night and about how small and intricate it was. Because you can work in really small and really large mediums, man. How's that possible? How's your brain work, man? How do you see it?
I got good eyes and I got really small brushes.
That's right. Those help. They do help. They do. It's nice to have a plethora of brushes. I really like the
Yes.
mediums a lot. I overuse the mediums.
I like the mediums.
We'll have all of that
I like
at
the
the painting
mediums.
turtle.
And you know that was your original name, right? That was what I knew you as for a long time.
For an art store, yeah.
Yeah, you were.
We have a couple different brands between the two of us. Lemon Crystal's just the two of us together, and
Right.
then he has 2 brands and I have 2 brands. I have Ghostwriters Artist Services and Ghost of Reality, and Lennon has
Painting turtle and Blue Time Comics.
and all of that is housed under the roof of Lemon Crystal Artist Sanctuary. So
Gotcha.
the building is kind of Lemon Crystal Artist Sanctuary, and our brands and our products and our artwork are within it. And also we feature the artwork of other local creators, a
Nice.
wide variety of them.
Nice.
And classes and
Creator space where you can use our bomb ass equipment stash. I have a
Nice.
thing for art equipment. It's like an obsession.
Right.
Like Lennon obsesses over art supplies. I obsess over
I
art
do.
equipment.
I do too. You know, I did an
yeah, I got
estate.
a little bit of art equipment.
I did an estate auction. I'll tell you, man. Whenever they got upstairs and it turned out the guy was an artist, I bought it all. I bought it all, and I got dried up paint from the '60s.
Nice.
But I got the brushes. were
Vintage art
ridiculous.
supplies could go for a pretty penny. We have an exhibit in the museum
Yeah,
of them.
yeah. Talking to the mic.
Yeah, man.
I got a bunch of frames from Stump.
Ah, nice. Invoking him again. Stump. I like hearing Stump's name.
Stumpy.
I wrote something for his sister whenever he passed. I really like Stump, man.
Yeah, that was sad.
That's really good, man. I'm gonna lift my glass to Stump, man.
You stump.
R.I.P.
Who was Stump?
He was a good friend of a circle that we were part of.
I don't know him, but
Lennon.
definitely cheers
Oh,
to
I
him.
do.
Cheers to Stump, man. Throw that out there.
Things break and shit goes on.
It's all right, Bella. That's a little ritual we do to remember people.
But yeah, I got a bunch of equipment. I'm gonna start framing
And I heard you saying it. So you're going to stretch canvases and stuff and help us artists have something to paint on.
yes.
That's
I got,
awesome. Can you repair stuff is a good question too, because like I have a painting that's buckled. So I know that if I pull the staples, it could be put on another frame, right?
Yeah.
That's what I need. I really need that
Or
because
there's a way to, if it's got the right stretcher, you can hit the corners and
Mm-hmm.
re-stretch it a little bit.
My ex is going, as an artist, is going through that thing where she doesn't want any of her old art, and I got it in the divorce, and I refused to throw it away because it's beautiful, some of it. And that particular piece that she did is a circus painting and got warped. And we argued about that for a long time as to whether or not it could be corrected. So I want to have it corrected. And I want to give her her stuff back so she can hang it again.
That's very kind of you to give her artwork back. I wish more men were like that.
I'm not that guy, you know. I understand because you go through those periods as an artist where you just want to forget your past so you can create everything new. And
No, I don't want to do that. I lost most of my work in a studio fire a couple of years back.
I knew
So
that
I would love my artwork to all be returned to me one day.
I knew that about her other relationship that had happened, so I didn't want to be that guy. But she swears she doesn't want it, so I'm just keeping it for her until she wants it.
I got some artwork back.
It's
From my
nice when you
aunts
do,
or
right? It's kind of cool when you see that stuff that you forgot,
Sisters.
You never know where it's
Brothers.
going to pop up.
and that too.
A few years back, a guy messaged me on Facebook. It was like, your name's on the back of this painting, and it surfaced from First Friday, actually. And it was my Diana Ross that sold at one of the early First Fridays in the Magnet.
Right.
And it was being auctioned at a estate sale, like you were talking about. A
Right.
lot of artists' work, even on a local level, ends
Right.
up surfacing at estate sales.
Right, and I'll tell you, the last one of those I went to, I bid on an original Matisse. I bid $150, man.
You
'cause
never
I
know
wanted
what's
it.
going to show up on those sales.
And there was a Winslow Homer there, and then there was an Aaron Mulligan. And
I love
Aaron.
Erin's work.
I love Aaron.
Oh, she has been around the scene a long time.
Erin-
Her work is exquisite.
I give Aaron the sole credit for the reason that I jumped into the whole Canton art community in the first place, because I saw her work and it was so silly and lighthearted like my own.
I love
that I just wanted to, wow, there is room for me. That's where
her
I'm going to
creature fusion work is some of my favorite work.
I would love to do a children's book with her.
She has exquisite
a really
talent.
dark children's book. But it would be fun because she could lighten it up. You know, she's just that, I don't know, she's that artist spirit that we all just like to be around. Yeah, I seen some of her stuff show up at estate sales, and it always goes for nice figures. People fight over it.
Yeah, the guy texted me and told me he had it, and I was like, well, I'd love to get it because it was right after the fire, and I was in a dark, dark place at that point. And I had said, well, I'd love to meet up with you and get it. And he's like, well, I got this guy who's bidding on it, so I don't think I'm giving it back to you. I'm like, all right, well, just make sure that my name's attached to it. But it's good to see that it always comes full circle.
Right. It's pretty wild when that happens. And, you know, I got to bid on a Warhol at that same auction. There's a print. Because that's about all you can find, really. I think of his stuff now as prints.
I saw a couple Warhols in a museum archave recently, and
Right.
I was breathing right there beside. I was like, damn,
That's
beautiful.
nice.
I love museum archives. They're special space,
I'm
man.
gonna tell you
Special
what,
space.
And I'm a mad obsessive collector, man. When it comes to comics, we were talking about that too. What's your comic book guy? So besides Turtles, come on, man. Who's your superheroes? Who'd you like?
Like Spawn and Batman.
Were you a reader, or did you just look at the covers and leave them in their poly bags?
No, I read them.
You took them out?
Superman, yeah. Superman was probably my favorite. The
Really?
Alien.
The alien, right?
The Alien.
You
yeah.
know, people tend to forget that. They think he's all human. He's not from here.
No.
He's an alien.
Sure is.
An alien.
He from
You
Krypton.
know. Right. Did you read any of the, like we were talking, and I know
The
they
Alien.
reboot these series from time to time. We were talking about Spidey 2099 and about how you have the original foil run when they were going foil crazy and foiling everything back in the 90s at Marvel. But they redid that book recently. So in the last 4 or 5 years, when I started collecting again, I got 20 boxes now, and my orders were huge. And I was buying Spawn, Ice Cream Man, Batman, all the titles you were naming are the ones that I was buying and reading. And Donnie Cates, I'm going to shout him out. I don't know if he's working right now. I heard that he had an accident and pulled away, and I wish him the best. I hope he is. He rewrote the the whole Marvel Universe. He introduced Null. Did you read any of the Null storylines at all? No. All right. I'm going to hook you up. I got some you can read, man. They're readers. You have to read this storyline, what he did. He shook the universe up. And in the Venom verse, he introduced this heavy metal guy named Null. He looks like he belongs in a black metal band. And, yeah, he pulls the symbiote out of Eddie Brock. And it's cool because it has all Peter Parker's memories and all his, and he absorbs all that, and, like, it's pretty intense, man.
Cool.
He's a new, they call it a modern-day Grail book, his third print cover with him sitting on his throne. He's the king of all the symbiotes. So every Marvel title in the King in Black storyline, which was 5 books separate, they all had a black band that said King in Black. And then there were nullified covers where they had the symbiotes, and they did, like, all these different Captain America and, like,
I'll be damned.
Catwoman and oh man, I know comic geek shit. Sorry. Are you into it at all? The comics at all? You're a lady.
I'm only into one comic, and it's Lennon's.
Okay. She's your number one fan.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I might be one of the few people who've actually seen it in person. So
Well,
there's many more fans to follow, I'm sure.
Heck, yeah, there are, and he's been real protective of it, and as he should be, because it's really original and it's really cool.
It's really fucking cool.
It
shit.
is.
Oh,
That's your
bam,
first
gotcha.
one.
Tally me up. I didn't bring
Gotcha.
quarters. I got a cash app.
Look at that. That's your first one. You said you.
That's pretty good, though. What are we? 43 minutes in, and
That's
there's
right.
your first one. That's real good.
That's real good, and I knew it was going to be. Like
Yeah,
that.
it always comes out.
We knew it was going to go that way. So when we were talking outside, you and I, and about art shows and that kind of thing, there was that time period where when I got divorced in 2004 and kind of came back on the scene again, we bumped into each other, I think, at a big party that our mutual friend Jay was having. And then when did you go to California?
Between the years 2004 and 2008.
So that was it. So that was that 4-year period where I didn't see you. I didn't know where I'd asked where Lennon was, and then I don't know where the hell he's at. I hadn't seen Lennon in a while. And then I think in 2008, whenever me and Dolores first
Going back to
connected,
Cali.
I bumped
To
into you
Cali.
over there then. But there was that period, and I never did hear what happened. So what the hell did you do in California, man? Were you like a surfer dude? Because you always struck me as kind of a hippie dude. No?
I set up at Venice Beach doing the art scene there.
You made it. I always wanted to go there, man. So what was that like? It's like
cool.
a freak show, right?
Yeah.
Like, did you see some wild shit while you were there, man? What was the craziest thing
California,
you saw,
you know
man?
you've seen some
Come on,
wild
man.
shit now.
Give us something good, right? Give
Come
us
on,
something
man.
to talk about, baby.
Give it to us, man.
Lennon, tell us those gypsy stories.
Oh, not the gypsy stories.
Lennon's traveled all over.
He has. That's why I was asking about that commune out there. You got a pretty wild individual life, man, you know?
I was part of the hippie commune in
What was it like in Venice?
Florida. It was wild.
Were you out there by yourself?
No, I was out there with my brother, Jeremy Strain.
So you had somebody that you had your back while you were out there.
Yeah.
Now, my uncle was hiking back
dad
from
was out there,
California.
My cousin came out.
Nice.
From California to Ohio, hitchhike. Now this was back in the
That's a rough
like
time.
right into late '90s,
That's a long hitchhike.
late
It is,
'80s,
wow.
right at the early '90s. And he said he got to I think maybe it was just past Arizona or something, and met up with these dudes that was giving him a ride. They're like, "Oh yeah, we got this." Like kind of like a hippie commune thing. They went back.
Yeah, you ever see the hills have eyes, dude?
He goes.
I hate that
They're
movie.
like,
It is creepy.
Come back to the thing, have eat some dinner and blah blah blah, and then we'll fucking send you on your way
Send you into the basement.
and we'll send you on your way in the morning and whatever. So
Tried
he gets
his
back.
barbecue. It's the last guy we
And-
gave a ride to.
They eat some dinner and stuff, and the dude's like, "Hey man, we're gonna go on a dumpster run. You want to go?" My uncle's like, "A dumpster run?" It's like, "What the hell you mean? What's a dumpster run?" "Oh, that's where we get our food at."
Oh, boom. There you go.
Pow.
Right. Old
After he done
school.
ate. But he
Old
did.
school.
He hitchhiked all the way from California, Ohio, and made it.
I've
He
heard that
was a
story.
big boy too, and he was a tough guy, so it wasn't like somebody was gonna take.
I bet that
advantage of
guy's
him.
got some gypsy stories.
Oh,
Wow,
man.
right.
There's no doubt.
And this guy does too. Lennon's a deep thinker. He's running through his mind right now. He's thinking about it. And we're coming up on break, so that's plenty of time for us to sneak out, him and I, and have a cigarette to remember some crazy shit and come back in here for
Oh, I
that
gotta get that
wild side. It's
camera
the
up
second
for Al.
half. That's right. If you want to do that, whenever we've talked about that before, I'll know when you drift that's what's up now. Well, that's kind of when we get to this time. And we usually do.
Well, you're usually
go
the
a
one
little
that
more.
takes off real quick because you got to pee. So.
Right. No, I've been taking it easy on the coffee tonight, and my anxiety levels are just through the roof with everything going on in my life right now.
Another thing I started out there in California was wood burning with the sun and the magnifying glass.
That's pretty wild.
I started wood burning when I was.
I do that in the backyard, though. I just do it with gas and pallets.
Not the way Lennon does.
I started wood burning with a soldering iron in 2003.
And that,
I just picked it up and started doing it.
what were you working on when I was talking to you in the garage that was that? You were using the soldering iron, and you were using a piece of wood about this big, and I think you were doing, I thought it was Jimi Hendrix. It wasn't that one, though, was it? Did you
Was it
I
Imagine?
never wood burned this
Okay,
t-shirt.
so maybe it was Imagine. Or
You
one
would
of
burn
those.
Imagine, didn't
Was
you,
that-
Letterman?
Was that
I did that in California.
so it would have been before that, or maybe just after that, because when
I
you
did Jay's Tupac.
That's pretty awesome.
maybe that's
I
what
just
you
saw
were
that.
working on. Maybe that's it. Because we were hanging out, you and I, and we were talking while you were physically working on the piece. I was like, "Are you sure I'm not pestering you?" You're like, "Oh no, dude, not at all."
But I've done over 100 pieces.
Wow. With the soldering iron.
It's a couple different. I do. I flip and flop with it. I do soldering iron, and then I do solar burnings.
Right. I'm amazed at your level of detail. That's what I always liked. Was just how intricate your stuff is, and how focused you are while you're doing it, but able to carry on a conversation, man. Sitting bullshit while you're doing it,
Well.
That's so wild to me to watch artists create like that. It's like two sides of you working at the same time, multitasking. But your stuff is so. I don't know. I'm just gonna tell them to look online.
When I did the wood burning with the sun in California, there was like nobody around me when I started.
Right.
And when I was into it for like an hour. There was a whole crowd around me.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what's he doing over there?
Right, what's he doing over there?
3 thick or something. Just
What's all that smoke, man?
Wow. How many pieces have you done all together, do you think?
There was one other guy doing it, but he was just doing like signs and
You're
designs and.
You're what I
just
call a
doing
producer.
faces.
You're a producer. You don't talk about making art, you make art. So, like, how many pieces do you think you've done all together over the years? I ask these guys that about their shows, the musicians, all the time, and they always make that same face you are. Holy shit. I was never keeping track.
I have thousands. I mean, the wood burnings alone are 100.
Right.
More than 100. So.
And you got that 44 pages that you've got of your comic book, but my God, all the breakdowns that you showed me of the character designs and that kind of stuff, you know, like that just, it's a very...
One of my first shows was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Did you go to the art school over there?
Yeah, Art Institute of Pittsburgh for special effects making.
That's ironic because I also went to school
That's
for
what I-
Art Institute of Pittsburgh for special effects.
I was going to ask you that, right?
Nice.
I seem to see that. I remember that in my
He was a
background.
senior the year I was a freshman, but we did not. Our paths just
Never
kind of
crossed.
were star-crossed. They never
No
passed just yet.
shit. Wow. That's
Unfortunately.
awesome, man. That's cool, though. You guys go back that far, and you're...
We have a lot of strange synchronicities between our lives.
That's wild, man. And here you are now doing it for real. So keep it up. Me and Tom always talk about it. You know, people talk about doing stuff in the future. We love doers, man.
We do it.
And we do it right now. And you guys are like us. You're doing it right now. And you need to get a hold
No
of
effing around.
The Lemon Chrystal Art Sanctuary.
www.lemoncrystal.com.
Do you want to get
Chrystal
us ready for
is
break?
CH.
Huh?
Do you want to start getting us ready for break with him?
Yeah, I suppose.
And
Thank-
we're leading up to
I'll show you one more.
the wild side here. He's going to have the outro with Al. And, oh, Miss Bella. Oh, she loves the artwork. See, Bella? And if you go back a little bit, I'll frame you. I'm trying to see it. There you go. Nice. And I love these because you can always go back and freeze it, you know? I take a little look when people show the creation. I was hoping we had talked about it when we were downtown for us to be able to do B-roll and come in and actually do a video of the gallery and talk to you guys about particular pieces. And
I would love that.
I
We
think
should
we
definitely
should.
set that up and do a
Yes.
continuance with something like that
Yes.
at Lemon Chrystal. Because it's a beautiful late 1800s building with a lot of the historic integrity intact, including the tin ceiling.
right.
So it's kind of like a whole art project in itself beyond the art that is encased in the building. The building itself is a giant revitalization project for the city of Downtown Alliance. So
Okay.
I'm really excited to be back home in Downtown Alliance, the area I've always obsessed over. An area where my work first found a following and Lennon's also first found a following. So to be back together in Downtown Alliance and try to recreate the artist hub and community that downtown used to
And that's
be.
awesome that you're doing that, man. It really is. Now, do you have anyone else
Splendicious.
just doing that down there to help you along?
Me.
But
And
the-
me.
Right, and you're really doing a lot.
Who else do we need, Eddie?
Well, right, exactly.
Who else
Well,
do we need, Lennon?
And we're all seeming to find each other, all of us that are doing this stuff right now.
Oh,
It's
sure.
really
But
neat.
yeah, we do have artist calls. So we are definitely opening to other artists. We should be expanding our building space. We've been slowly revitalizing each area and then
Right.
opening each section of the building.
Right.
So as we move towards fall and winter, we'll have other sections of the building opening up. So we definitely encourage other artists and other brands to reach out to us online
Nice.
and bring their work in to showcase it, bring in displays.
Right.
We also offer a variety of artistic services. So not only can we make your art merch for you, we can work with you on your artistic businesses.
Oh, I
so
love it.
I would love to help you write some gallery proposals, some grant proposals, help you with website editing, launching online stores, marketing and brand awareness. So
Nice.
we take our artist community beyond just, it's kind of like the one stop for creatives. So like Lennon offers the supplies. We have the t-shirt services. We have the maker space fully equipped with a kiln, a top of the line 3D printer, Creality Pro, a wide variety of equipment is going to be launching probably early spring in our maker space. So definitely keep a close eye on the development and progress of Lemon Chrystal.
Sure
That's
will.
awesome. And and
You guys do shirts then, huh?
Yep.
Yes.
Lennon
Is that
makes kick-ass
silk
shirts.
screen or
This is silk screen. Like
We
she
offer
said.
vinyl. We offer sublimation and
'Cause
a
we're-
variety of direct-to-garment.
And then, yeah.
as soon as we come up with designs, we got to come up with some merch and
I
whatnot.
was talking to him outside about the one that we were talking about with the chickens. So
Yeah. And then the one other service I'm going to provide with Painting Turtle is a delivery service
Beautifully
For-
inclusive.
for free delivery for elderly or disabled.
nice. That's awesome, dude. That's really cool. And you guys are really involved in the community, which is good, which I was hoping that we'd get to talk to Dolores about a little bit too, because of what you were talking about just now. And you really are doing it. And like I said off camera, I put a word in for you the other day for something you didn't even know was being talked about. It's still kind of under wraps, but I'm excited to see what happens. Because you're just like Miss D, man, Dolores. You're a go-getter.
I'm one of a kind.
You
y'all.
are. You're one of her. You're one of her type, and that's awesome because that's really needed right now. People that are willing to get out there and do
Either
it.
you talk about it or you do it.
That's right.
That's it.
And you guys are doing it actively, which is great.
You have to bloody do it.
And then we can
Just move forward.
That's right, one foot in front of the other. And you guys are leading by example, which is, I love that, because the difference between a leader and a follower is that one little step forward. And you guys are taking that step, and it's good.
A lot of people are scared to take that step. That's why.
That's right. And,
They're
Oh,
scared
no,
of
No
uncertainty.
fear at me and Lemon, that's for sure.
and it opens the door for other
We just want
folks
to make art,
come along.
right, baby?
Yeah.
And you guys
Help
are
people.
super talented, too. Well,
If you guys noticed, we got Owl's window blacked out today. We're going to do something new. We got a Owl camera, so when we go
Yeah.
to break, it'll be in there with him.
which
That'll
is
be
coming up
nice.
right about now, I believe, isn't it? Aren't we right there at that mark?
Pretty close.
I'm feeling to
Says
that right kidney.
57. I mean, if you want to do it, I got to go over there and hit that there
That's nice.
middle thing there and whatnot.
And then we'll come back and we'll do the.
I don't know if I can
go off the
mute the
rails.
mics. This thing's acting funny.
Well, let's
So,
see what
Let me,
happens.
let me go. Hold on now. Hold on. Just stay
Okay.
there till I do this.
You always make.
What are
me
you guys
nervous.
doing?
This is where we go
we,
to
uh,
halftime.
I'm going to do a disappearing
We're
act
gonna do-
again.
Yes, we're gonna
we
smoke
we
a
first
cigarette,
That's
we
so obvious, by the way.
first showed
right?
at Jupiter Studios.
Really? And where was that at exactly? Because you mentioned
2
the
doors
door.
down from Lemon Crystal.
Oh no shit! So
Downtown
right there.
Main Street.
And I'm cut off.
No, I hear you. You're still live.
You can hear me?
Yep.
What happened?
It's that.
Damn thing.
Yep. Technology.
So, yeah, we
And then
both
we,
have had our art all over.
yeah. And then we showed at Mount Union
Nice.
campuses.
That's funny.
I like
And that's where we won.
We showed at that show for a decade and never got to win, and then we
won together.
won together
You
one
got
year.
it.
Well, sort of. Hold
Okay,
on.
go ahead, line it up.
That
So
was a
he's gonna
shocking.
he's gonna play this thing. It's not an outro. It's not an intro. It's a middle tro, and this is what we're gonna go out to. And then he's gonna kill our mics, and we're
I
gonna let
also-
Alex play.
I also did Arttoberfest.
Hold that thought.
All right, everybody. Halftime. You know the drill.
6 minutes.
We'll be back.
Count them off.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We should be having a brief
Okay, come on,
introduction in
Lennon.
our feature presentation. We'd like to remind you all there are snacks and light refreshments at the front bar, hookers and cocaine in the back room. I know where I'll be. The second half of our program will begin momentarily, a little darker, slightly more sinister. Good times for all. Thank you and good night.
But the better you... Hey, Tom, we're in. Okay. It just came in.
Hello.
There it is.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Did you miss us?
I missed us. Oh, Miss Bella. Okay, calm down here. Bella's back too. She sees us moving around and she's like, hey, what's going on here? She had a little bit of a dramatic day today. She's had a few dramatic days.
Look behind.
I love it when you guys bring your stuff in for us to see. What are you talking about? Oh, it's out.
What happened?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the destruction of the fourth wall. I lost, well, there it is.
Now it's blocking my
I lost
beautiful
a little
face.
Something. And, oh, wow. What happened there?
Malfunction.
WTF. I think if we all cross our fingers, it'll come back. I don't know. Tom's like, F it. We're back to the show.
Don't know, kids.
What do you mean?
A lot of weird shit going on. What do you mean? What do I mean?
It looks like you.
She's like, uh-oh. Okay, look at that.
All right.
Oh, all right. This
We'll
is what
be
I've
back.
been waiting for. This is what I've been waiting for, right?
I didn't X out of nothing. If you X out of something, it's gone.
Oh, yeah,
We're
it is.
off the stream.
Yeah, it'll kill the stream. This is what happened last time, and why we're going to talk off camera about what we were talking about before.
We need to practice running Lemon Crystal.
Yes, we need to.
I have
I ain't taking this
a
nowhere.
bigger
No,
green screen,
this
and
don't go nowhere.
we should use my green screen next time, y'all.
We're going to be upgrading here real soon, is the hope. We'll see. There's a few exciting things in the works. We did an interesting meeting today before you guys got here too, and
Sweet.
we're.
How come we didn't get the update
It's
first?
difficult to make any concrete decisions right now. Things are very fluid. That's about the best I can say right now for me personally. There's just a lot of insanity that I'm not. I don't want to say reacting to, but responding to.
Hello.
Personal.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
working! It's
yeah.
working!
Just personal shit, you know.
What'd you do?
Fader wasn't faded all the way.
I knew something was up because it wasn't showing up.
Ah, the fader wasn't faded all the way.
Sorry, sweetie.
Oh, there he is.
All right.
The floating head.
And we've all got to hit the head, and we've all got to get a quick smoke in. I love my cigarettes
that?
still, and
Now it's the head of me. You guys want some head?
I love how we discovered that today as we were going on. 27 shows in. There it is. And we would never, ever ask you to hit that bell, like, subscribe, and share with everybody you know.
I don't want to do that.
We want to hit that
hot in
1,000
here.
subscriber thing. So we were starting to talk about when you were in California, and you were talking about a travel and art show that you were in. And what was it called?
Cannibal Flower.
Right. And now, how did you get involved in that?
I used to take Metro Rail and buses everywhere. And I ran into one of the producers or the curators, and he got me into the show. So.
You know, I applied for that show many, many years, and I never got accepted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little sad about that one, Lennon. You should get me in that show.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You
I-
use that street cred.
Yeah.
How long did you do it for?
Maybe a year, maybe two.
It was a competitive show during that time frame. It was hard to get in that show.
And where was that at?
L.A., California. They traveled around, so it was around the basketball stadium, the Clippers, and then I think it was like downtown L.A. before that. So.
Did you ever sell any big pieces out there?
Nah,
big
I I sold
Are you warm
a.
and cozy under there?
It's getting
I,
warm. I'm about to
sold
peel
a-
this shit. My cloaking device has got to
wood-burning-
come off. It's getting hot in here.
a hand wood burning guitar for $100, but
I want to play with the green
nothing.
screen.
Nothing real.
It's all yours.
That's the
real
thing.
big.
You know, the
Gotta be
starving
in
artist
line with
thing,
it for it to
man.
work.
You don't get paid, you know.
That's why we're called starving artists.
Right, and you know, we do our fair share of that. That's for sure. I've never sold any big pieces. I donated quite a few. I paid them forward, but it's never about the money for me anyway.
I like creating.
Exactly. It's more with the creative process, dealing with that muse. Because sometimes she can be pervasive. She'll be right there screaming at you, you know, and you got to get it out.
If you don't, your brain will implode.
Right.
I go, psh.
That creative outlet for creative people, man, you know, it's a very necessary thing, or you will.
It's not a choice in some creatives. Like either it comes out or
And we were
you're
down.
fucked.
Oh, there's that thing. Boom. For those humble creatures. How Bellaboo. Little Bella's tired.
Quarter in?
Huh?
Do we put the quarter in?
No,
Yeah, you
don't
I
have
got a cash
change.
app. I forgot
Yeah.
the quarters, baby.
If you got one, you get. Tom and me were talking about that. They were all his.
I'm fresh
They were
out.
all mine in the beginning.
Still, what you talking about?
Yeah, right. You end up.
Our
doing,
boy Mikey still owes us 5 and
a
a
bunch
quarter.
of them, right? You got that one friend that still has to come through. Well, you know, he was throwing them around pretty frivolously.
He was.
I like that word, frivolously. Frivolously.
He said he's got us though. I ain't worried. He'll get it. Ain't nobody gonna ditch no charity.
Heck no.
There's some, what else went on in Venice Beach? There was drum circles and
Drug circles.
no drum
There's
circles.
a lot of those, too.
There is some drug circles, yes.
You ever doing wild psychedelics out there, Lennon?
Not then. No.
Not now, but did you ever dabble in the psychedelics, man?
Guys, you see the size of that chicken? You're in the spirit world now, asshole.
A little bit of that Terrence McKenna.
Carlos Castaneda, Hunter S. Thompson.
Not those locals.
I got really into Hunter S. Thompson.
Me
There's
too.
some
Yeah.
Police chases
Ooh, the police chases. Them are always fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
on the beach.
I seen a wreck
Cops
today.
chasing.
Going to work.
I didn't, there's so many of those.
A smash up I did. I seen it on the way to work. A girl was crossing 15th Street across, guess that'd be Walnut, where it turns off of Market.
Right there by the museums. Yeah.
I've just been seeing a lot more of that, where people are on their phones and not paying attention and just crap.
Yeah, well, you know what? Just because you might accidentally touch your phone when you're driving, it ain't the same thing. And then you get hit with this
It's
super
not.
high $250 fine, and it's like, it's super whack.
Well, and there's pluses and minuses.
But I
on
wasn't
that
even
one, you know.
texting.
Right. It's just,
He was just
what
touching
they
it?
perceive, what they see, right?
Just touched it.
Because it is, man. These kids are getting killed out there.
I
just
understand that, but some of us weren't.
driving with their feet,
Uh-huh.
you know, so they can
this
get
is
that
cool.
phone. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah, these are cool.
I'm enjoying the silence
guys-
in a way.
Go ahead and get you a piece, just a piece, whatever one of the, except for the bars. You can't have the bars, but if you want a coin or something, you can have
What, me?
Yep.
both of you.
I saw what the alien had. It's so freaking cool.
Hey, good choice.
Them are supercharged with positive energy.
That's right. You guys were talking
They are.
about that at First Friday. Mm-hmm. And that's your
You know,
big-
this is a rare art form these days. A lot of people don't do that. Same as oil paintings. People have kind of like started to move away from certain
digital.
art forms.
It's all digital now.
Tell you what, I'll tell you what.
Even
Look,
wood burning.
look
People
here.
don't have the
Oh,
patience
laser.
for certain
Looky
kind of
here.
art forms.
I got me
anymore.
one I carry around.
Even,
Well, I
That's
showed
the one
you
you
guys.
showed me.
Even
Like we
wood
looked
burnings?
far
laser cut.
at the one museum I work with.
Ed's
Don't
got
do
him one.
hand anymore.
Right.
This
Ed's
one
got
I
it.
love.
Ed's
It's
got
so
his
trippy. It's
coin.
even got like the third eye thing going in the center of the skull. It's fucking.
I love it. She dropped it again.
Oh, I didn't even catch it at first.
Shebanga.
You're up to three.
75 whole cents going to Humble Creatures. Up on Cleveland Avenue. When you were out in Venice, did you
That's the one I got, but brass.
did you meet anybody famous out there when you were out
In
there on the West
Milwaukee.
Coast?
Yeah, I met a couple famous people out in where I worked at an art store,
Uh-huh.
Pearl. It's one of the most one of the famous art stores out there. But,
Right.
I met what's his name? Danny DeVito.
Cool.
I bet he was real cool, huh?
Yeah, he's really cool. Jack Black.
He's exceptionally cool.
Yeah.
I understand.
He signs everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So. Who else did I meet?
Now this thing here, this is normally a dual mold, which has a back, but I made some brass ones, and they look like butt plugs.
Say that in the mic.
I met Paris
I could
Hilton.
have a dirty joke for that, but somebody told me we weren't
But I
allowed
left
to tell dirty
I left
jokes.
this little tag on there, so maybe if somebody wanted to make a necklace or whatever, but that can be cut off if that's not what you want.
I like that. I feel like, Lennon, can you poke this
Yeah.
hole for me?
He can do that.
That's cool.
He's got the
do
he's
that.
got the tool.
Right
I
there,
can
baby.
do that.
Here we go.
That wasn't a dirty joke, I
Off the
swear.
rails.
I'm
No,
talking
it's a
about
double
this
entendre.
pending.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely poking the hole.
That's like our show. That we're gonna do a food show, and it's called Eating Out with Tom
Ed
and
and
Ed.
Tom.
Ed and
Tom,
Tom
Ed,
and Ed. I like
whatever.
Tom and Ed. Tom and Eddie. Eating Out.
Because we like to eat
So,
out.
yeah, just take.
Good title.
I love it. You know, and it's gonna all be, it's all gonna be filmed.
Take what?
Oh man.
We eat good too.
You could drill this.
Look.
Or
Yeah.
you could wire wrap it.
Uh-huh.
Dad bod. I lost my dad bod.
I'm working on it. When you're poor and you don't eat, boy, you can lose weight fast.
That's right. Real fast. Food fast.
Huh?
Gorgeous.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's one Lennon likes?
Yeah.
That's the one I like. It's like an alien face. Whoa.
I was
You're
like,
gonna
get
drill
off my
this
head.
later.
I'm gonna
You can drill my head later, baby.
She said, give me your head.
I would like to see
He
you
said, she said. I said, about the he said.
get to
she
be with the other
He
artists
said,
and do
he
this.
said.
You know, let him do a demo, you know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think that'd be really cool.
I
Yeah,
made my
do that.
earring. I dabble in the jewelry arts.
Nice.
It's fun to watch him do it.
I do a little bit too with cork. I make earrings out of cork.
Cork, huh?
Wine.
Do they float?
Yeah, they would.
I would think they would. Floating
They're
earrings. That's,
lightweight. I draw a picture on it, cut it.
that's cool.
I recently launched the One Earring Project. $1 of sales from the One Earring Project goes towards the Christina House domestic violence shelter. So I will have the One Earring Project earrings available for purchase at
You
Art
mad
in the
says
Park.
chocolate mushrooms, anyone? Hell yeah. You got some chocolate mushrooms? Bring them on. In the chat, that's what they say. You mad? See that? Whoever that is. Welcome to the chat, you mad? Why are you so mad?
You man.
Who you mad at?
What you mad about?
What you mad about? Me?
This ain't got no chocolate mushrooms?
There we are. Somebody else joined.
Oh, there they are.
All
They're starting to
right.
pop in now.
Hello,
All right,
Palmy
welcome.
Tree. I know who that
They all
is. Hey,
float to
Ash
the
girl, what's
show.
up?
They all float.
Did you surf it
The
all
earrings
while you were
are-
out west?
Yeah, the earrings all float.
Yeah.
Did you surf it all while you were out west?
Attempted to.
Already
How
had
was
coffee.
it? I think we talked about that. I said I wanted to try it.
Yeah.
That's
Was-
hard,
was
isn't
it
it?
It's hard.
Yeah.
That's right. Was it everything you expected it to be?
Yeah. My brother tried to teach me.
Did it hurt?
The
I know it
sand
did,
hurt.
huh?
The sand hurt more than
Yeah,
anything.
when your ankle's in the air and your face drags across the bottom of the ocean, yeah, buddy, it hurts.
Oh man. You're
when
involved
you're
in
a
a
bikini
lot
bottom destroyer.
of projects. What else are you doing? What else you got going on that you want to shout out in the second hour here?
Just more events, collaborations together. And
I want to see you guys pull more people out up in that area into that scene.
We have a huge event coming up on October 12th, I think it is. It might be the October 14th. Second Saturday of October. So I think that's October 12th. But we have our annual Duck Duck Jeep event in Downtown Alliance where Lennon will be painting live. We will have Lemon Chrystal open. We will have a cosplay contest. So come on out in all your cosplay gear. I'm looking for high-end avant-garde Halloween. I'm looking for submissions of...
Submission.
Steampunk.
The 12th? October 12th. That's what I thought. Yes, I was right the first time. We have that event every year. So I think last year might have been the 14th. That is my 12th year planning a Downtown Alliance Street Festival. I was part of the beginning of that initiative. We've gone under several names for the past 12 years. And the past 4 years, we've settled with Duck Duck Jeep Downtown Festival. So we highlight arts and music, history, and Jeeps. So we have a Jeep Ghost Trunk or Treats, where artists get to set up displays in the back of their Jeeps. It's really cool. It's a super cool event. We have Trunk or Treat, we have live music, and this year we're gonna have one of my special favorite projects, which is Fashion in the Streets, which has toured a couple of different times. I had a Fashion in the Streets in Cleveland last year. And Fashion in the Streets is when I take a fashion show to the sidewalks of a small district. So we will have a fashion show of cosplay wear, take the streets in Downtown Alliance.
Hello, you mad Linda? Just kidding.
That's really cool.
Linda, hello, welcome to the chat. Welcome.
Come on, make sure you
to the
find me, baby.
Outhouse
Come say hi to
podcast,
us,
everybody.
okay, Linda?
We're here every Wednesday from 8 p.m. to Lord knows when,
Yes.
talking shit about shit.
And
Go
whatever
back and see some of our other shows. We had a guest on here that was in the Leonard Skinner plane crash, the Stoned Roadie.
I have a thing for Leonard Skinner. I watched it. That was pretty cool, dude.
we, have had a lot of really cool people come on here. I'm really glad you
This
guys
is good.
came on, because it's
We're
fun
happy to be here.
Ray
man.
Cartagino!
That's right.
Very happy.
And it's cool because we're giving people a platform just like you guys are. And it'll be cool to be able to hopefully send people to each other. We're networking right now. And this thing is just getting started.
And the arts should always be a constant collaboration, a constant bounce back and forth between creatives,
Yes.
especially between districts and communities.
Right.
And never will we ask you to like, share, subscribe, and do the thing, but do it!
And then integrating together
we need some people.
online with our online, everybody has that online footprint. It helps put us in different ponds we might not normally be in.
Yeah.
And it really does help you expand your sphere of influence. Pretty good. Word of mouth. It's a little different nowadays. It's like word of social media.
A shout.
Show for show, Tommy.
Linda says she'll be there in her cosplay gear.
I like that cosplay stuff. I gotta
Well,
say, I'm a big fan.
I am new to the
Hey,
cosplay
Linda.
world, and I am obsessing.
I like it.
What you wearing, Linda? What's your cosplay
I'm gonna
out?
make one of my
Post your
superhero.
picture,
That's a
girl.
good idea. 'Cause
We
your
want
stuff's
to
all
see it,
original.
Linda.
I'm using a bodysuit and probably EVA foam.
I should do my character, man. All I need is like a.
We can
I
help
already
you.
got-
Me and Lennon got the.
You know,
we
that
got the
could be-
connect
I already
between
got one.
custom
I got
cosplay.
mine.
I'm a excellent seamstress and fashion designer. Me and Lennon together can make you the baddest fucking costume you ever. Oh,
Boom! Cha-ching! Yeah, another one for
You
the
ever seen-
animals. Spellaboo. Another one for all the animals.
From the actual physical
And she dropped the
outfit
F-bomb.
to the
Oh,
special
I was
effects
trying to
and
read
makeup,
chat. My
as well
bad.
as
My bad.
prosthetics.
About what she say? She subbed in the guitar shop. It must have been
Cosplay.
stopped, but it says I subbed. I don't know.
I want to have a reason to wear my vinyl pants. I love my vinyl.
I got
Yeah,
something too,
I
man.
always do my own
Latex.
makeup for Halloween. Halloween and stuff. Like
Yeah, grease paint, all that stuff.
My costume's easy.
Grease paints. We're talking about prosthetics over here, honey.
Oh, and that too.
Oh,
Oh, hey,
shit.
I forgot.
And,
It's a brave
I was
new
only
world.
born with one leg. Don't let my dick fool you.
that. Mechanics.
It's a brave new world.
Some mechanics and servos. And
Yeah.
Don't make me be a
We made these
three-legged asshole with two legs.
we made these badass radio-controlled wings for Ingenuity's fashion show that just went by for Flights of Fancy, and me and Lennon make a hell of a team, man.
Your collaborative effort at the gallery was awesome. I can only imagine.
Thank you.
You guys are good together.
I haven't got to show much of my work.
There you
but,
go.
There you go. Show it.
I got one of my cryptids.
There you go.
This
Down,
is my
down.
Back it up a
Mothman.
little. Back it up a little.
There you
Back it
go.
up a little. A little
Right there.
Not too far. Yeah, disco.
That's one of
Check
my
it out,
cryptids.
y'all.
You guys ever see Mothman out there? What's
That's
your
what you call
what's your
badass.
theories on the cryptids? I did a whole collection of work
That-
based on cryptids. They're quite fascinating.
Now, speaking of cryptids, you
All
guys know
right.
downtown here, I believe it's
Here we
not
go.
this weekend coming, but the following weekend at the Hilton is Monster Fest. You guys know anything about
You could be
that?
booked at that, Lemonade.
Now
Yeah.
check it out though.
All right.
So it's a little
Here we
outfit
go.
called Small Town Monsters that my nephew does the soundtracks
Oh, that
for.
sounds freaking.
He's going to be
If
on
you
the
go
show.
on Tubi,
freaking.
if you go on Tubi and punch in Seth Breedlove, all his shows come up.
I can't get it back
The
on.
first one they did was Minerva Monster, about the Bigfoot out in Minerva. Now Minerva's got a
Oh,
monster
you ever
day.
seen Bigfoot? I have a thing for cryptids, and they come
Here
to
we
me.
go,
man.
boy.
I have
That's what I
seen
said.
some cryptids, you
And
guys.
we're
Come
off.
on now.
Get ready, brother. This is where it goes wild.
Wait,
Where'd
is
you
this gonna
see?
look
What you
weird?
see? What you see?
This isn't that weird. Is it that weird to talk about cryptids?
No, we
he
do
loves
it.
this stuff.
We do it.
and it's fun.
I got a
what do you
thing for
You can go
cryptids.
back.
I did a
Me
whole
too.
exhibit on cryptids, so I did a whole collection of cryptids. I have seen several cryptids. This one time,
At band camp?
What you
The
seen?
band camp.
I didn't know you were a flautist. Is that the right terminology?
that's not cool, y'all.
One time.
That girl's a dingbat.
She's awesome.
Band camp.
Yeah, the one time I'm not a dingbat.
Not at all. What's
You
two
having
plus
trouble
two?
over there?
I
Come on,
just
Digits.
can't get this thing in my ear.
What am I? What
Try
am I
the other
looking
one.
up? What's the site?
Huh?
What am I looking up for the?
Oh, small town. If you go on, Small Town Monsters is the thing,
So
but
you
on
saw-
Tubi, if you
you saw
type in
Bigfoot, Red?
Seth Breedlove,
I've seen Bigfoot, and I
All of
also
those
seen
will
Mothman.
come up.
I also saw
he's
a
got like
prehistoric
Bigfoot,
hyena.
the Mothman,
What the what?
Ohio hyena.
all
Yeah,
kinds of
dude.
them shits.
Where?
Small town.
Monsters.
Have you ever heard of prehistoric hyenas?
They're on
thing. It's
YouTube,
also
too.
a cryptid. It's like lesser known.
Is it like a dire wolf? Is it real big?
Small time.
Well,
Small
somebody
town
told me that I was
monsters.
just really out of touch of reality, and it was a coyote. But I'm telling you, it was not a
You
coyote.
see the dog man, did you?
It was not a coyote. And then somebody else said it was what a. I can't do this.
You need the regular headphones.
You
don't wanna crush her hair, though.
I can't crush my hair. It can't look flat.
The dog.
Been in there.
Anyway, so
Man,
somebody else said, what is the thing? It has the big ears.
The dog man.
No.
oh, yeah.
It looks like a little chihuahua on crack.
Chupacabra.
Chupacabra. Some people said it was a chupacabra. Some people said it was a coyote when I described it. But I'm telling you, it was a prehistoric hyena.
And where was this
Nice.
at? In
It was
Ohio?
in the field by my old house.
Okay. Do you
on
want to be
Westville
real
Lake.
specific? Okay. There you
Leesville.
Westville Lake is a hot spot. I also saw a Bigfoot there.
go. Now,
Daytime or nighttime?
were
It
you-
was
were you
early dawn.
were you
And
eating?
he was hanging out with my dog, and he was also hanging out
you
with a
Were
deer.
you eating?
Was I eating?
So he was like scratching the deer and like, hey,
Like,
big
hey,
guy.
No, he was drinking like a
How you
cup. He
doing?
was like bent down at the lake, and he was drinking water with a cup beside my dog on one side.
Was that Tupperware?
No, No, it was his hand, homie.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, I thought you said you had a cup.
That's what I
No,
thought
he
you
was
said.
drinking
I
with
did
his
say-
hand. Have you ever done that in a creek, you know?
Not in a
Right,
creek, but
yes.
in the bathtub after I got
you're
done.
not. You're not trying to get ringworm, but
Oh man! But you got to understand, she was really pretty, and he said he'd drink her bath water. He had to live up to what he said.
I heard of those girls who sell their bathwater online. I hear you make a lot of money off that shit.
Yeah, they sell all that shit online. You
I
got
got
anything
class.
you want
though.
there, boy.
Man,
Anything
that's
you
some
want.
low class
Just
kind of
socks.
thing.
You got your credit card, son? Shit, you can get anything online. You see some of them there stanky
You know, I'm
panties
starting
and
to
all
think
that.
we should have a weekly show.
So
Anyway.
Yeah, back to the.
Now, back to the
It's
Bigfoot
bending
sighting.
down, drinking
bending
water.
down, drinking
It's
water.
bedding down drinking water with
Could
my
you
dog
smell
and a
it?
deer.
Could you
I was
smell
getting
it?
ready to
I
say the
cannot
same thing.
smell
They
it.
say
And
you
I'm
can
not
smell
being.
them.
Yeah, they
I
say.
didn't smell anything. He just looked peaceful and he was like hanging out and drinking water. And then all of a
He
sudden,
was
my
on those
dog.
mushrooms Linda was talking about.
Growled and charged.
No, I'm a good girl.
He was
No,
getting chocolate mushrooms.
Yeah. Bigfoot was like, yeah, boy. I'm seeing colors and shit.
I didn't smell
no,
him,
I'm
but he
100%
smelled me.
serious. I might have had a Jack Daniels hangover, but that was it.
He charged
So-
you.
My brother had an experience down in Marietta. He didn't see it, but that some bitch yelled.
I seen 3 cryptids.
Okay.
So,
Okay, and when was that?
When?
Yeah, when?
When Larry seen
No,
that?
no, not you.
Oh.
When was your sighting? No, man, I know
when I was
you.
a child,
I
man.
know you.
I was gonna say.
well,
Do you
it was
remember?
winter when I saw the
Say it into the
chupacabra
I can't hear you.
slash hyena.
Unless you say it into the mic.
What were we talking about now?
Cryptids, baby.
Cryptids. We're talking about Bigfoot.
Oh, okay.
Big Blitz.
There's a wide variety of cryptids, though. It's not just Bigfoot.
Never heard
And
it
some
called
cryptids come to certain different people. You know, like, so if you see, it's kind of like getting struck by lightning.
So
which
how do you know it's not a demon or something like that?
Because
you know
if
what I mean?
you've seen a demon, you know a demon.
I don't know. They're good at deception.
Well, there's that
I'm
theory
not
that
getting
that's what
into
those
that.
are.
Huh?
There's a theory that that's what those are.
What?
That Bigfoot are demons.
Oh, I don't think so. He was pretty peaceful.
I mean,
and
there's
chill.
yeah. I mean, there's people that say that. I'm not saying that I believe that.
I've seen a demon,
I'm just
and
saying that
trust
there's
me,
that.
it's not Bigfoot.
There's that out there. That's
I
all.
think-
I'm
Man
saying.
is the one who
I
inhabited.
think I'm
that
kind of
demon.
with Ed on a deal where they're like the inner Earth species.
Yeah, they're
They're
interdimensional.
interdimensional, or they're from the inner.
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
above.
They,
They're from
they
the flat
merge
Earth, wherever that's
dimensional
from.
existence.
As above, so below.
Realms.
As above, so below.
Oh, I can get into some metaphysical shit.
So
y'all.
he's. I think.
Have you
he's
ever seen any
coming from
UFOs?
inside.
Yes, I absolutely have.
I have.
Many
I've seen
times.
lots of
Now
those,
we're
man.
talking. Now we're talking.
Me and Ed seen some shit out here about what 2 weeks ago.
I'm not gonna
That
lie.
shit was crazy, man.
He's right. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't
We saw
know.
some pretty
We
wild
sat there
stuff
and
that I
watched
can't
this shit
explain.
going on for what 45 minutes.
Yes.
It
And
was
we timed
crazy
it.
as hell. That's
We
all I
timed
know.
it. All I can say is we timed it.
Well,
and it was
nowadays
not
you
like
can't
anything
say
I've
we're
ever
crazy because
seen.
the government's
Right.
accepted
Well,
UFOs
I wonder
and
what we're seeing, you know.
extraterrestrial
It's not that
sightings
they
have been
accepted
a long,
them.
long
It's the
time.
fact that they can't deny it anymore.
Oh, I wonder what we're seeing.
And the problem with it is they're not ever gonna unless if we how's that how you say let them get away with the bullshit that they pulled. The word that you use for that is slipping my mind right now. Pardon. We have to pardon the government on all the horse shit they've done. Now listen, or they'll never give us the information on that. They're gonna slowly leak dumb shit out and be like, but the real shit that they know, they will never let us have it unless we say, because once they let us know that they've had this technology for years, we're gonna be pissed. We're gonna wonder why we're paying $3 and what for gas right now when they got technology to give us free energy.
Sorry about that.
So we're gonna have to pardon them and not let them get in trouble and not be pissed for us to get this technology. That's how that's gonna have to roll,
I don't know about. I mean, that's a nice.
or they'll
theory,
never bring it
but
out.
I think that some of that stuff is like what we had talked about before, where I think that your Upchurch guy said it best.
Bathroom.
You can't give people too much truth because
Well,
what
sure.
happens is
You got to feed it to them little bits at a time.
upends reality. Your It does. It upends reality, and then you're talking to someone who's no longer listening. They can't process it. They're hung up on that first thing, and you're already on to the fifth or sixth
Sure.
thing because it opens up the floodgates when you get into those topics, you know. And the Bigfoot's a big one. It's a huge one because those sightings go way back, and they go back to the giants. I think.
Oh,
they're,
everybody. I mean,
think
they go
they're-
clear back to the. friggin-
I have real specific things about demonics because of the greater and lesser keys of Solomon and the story of Solomon and the 72 demons. He was very descriptive on some of that stuff. So to see it in a dimension that
Demonology
we
is
could
quite fascinating.
visualize, well, I'm not so certain that we would be sure what we were dealing with. You're supposed to try the spirits. That's how you find out. I'm not saying you should do that
Oh, I
by
wouldn't.
any
No,
means
thank
whatsoever.
you. I
Jose.
just like to read, honey.
That's right. You're getting into some really strange places there.
I just like to write.
And I love metaphysics, but you got to be careful what you dabble in. You can't open things with impunity.
Don't play with things you can't understand.
Absolutely.
Right. There's a Manly P. Hall
These
quote.
people that mess with these Ouija boards, all I can say to you is you're stupid.
What?
A Manly P. Hall quote that I've been throwing around where he says something about that the idle student, should depart in haste if he
I
doesn't
believe
really know what
skinwalkers
he's
are
mentioning.
cryptids.
I was just thinking that post. I saw that, Ash.
Right.
Are skinwalkers cryptids? That's an interesting conversation.
Don't come in
Because when
idle.
you think about indigenous cultures and stories of skinwalkers, are they cryptids or are they extra manifestations of our inner soul?
thought they were
So I could
cannibals.
go on about what are skinwalkers and in which culture would you be speaking of skinwalkers. So that's something that dives into anthropology.
Yeah, the Native
I-
Americans is the ones that supposedly did the curse with the skinwalker stuff. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't know specifically or whatever.
I have plenty of Native American in me, Sioux, Blackfoot, and Cherokee.
I'm also a
and
Native woman, Chippewa. My grandmother grew up on a reservation.
I don't know all the ins and outs
I think
of
I'm
any
part
of that
Cherokee.
because I wasn't raised with it, so I can't answer for any of it. I just know what I see like everyone else on the internet, and I haven't been following the skinwalker stuff as heavily as I probably should, but I heard they're mimics from what I've seen. And from what I've heard, they attribute the sound of them being. It sounds
Now
like a
that
mimic.
could be a broad spectrum of a conversation.
Sure.
Skinwalkers, like in which realm are you speaking of, Ash?
I mean, the one that I saw was pretty scary. This guy was a rancher.
We're dragging you on the
way
next
out.
show, girl.
Way out. And this thing was mimicking the
Got to
sound
get
of a
to
bird at
water.
first. And then it sounded like a hyena, like you're saying.
I have a thing,
And-
if you research Ohio, people said, hyenas weren't in Ohio, but you know what? They were. If you research it deep enough, and a lot of creatures you might not know are lying
Right.
hiding in some of these more country roads.
There's prehistoric stuff here underground they find, and the mound builders were
They found all them
concentrated
giants.
in the state of
Here.
Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
And they've found those two.
Particularly right around the Alliance demographic.
The mound builders always fascinated me because they didn't really leave a history. And I got some real good books on that. I actually uploaded one as an audiobook for people. After I read it, it was so good, I just put it up for everybody. And they didn't really leave a written record in those mounds. And if they did, they're certainly not telling anyone about it because they just talked about how they were literally a burial ground. But these were the people that were running from the Ice Age. Is what they were before the Egyptians. Mm-hmm. Okay, and they're focused in Ohio. The Snake Mound that's down in
Serpent
southern.
There's
Mound.
also
southern-
one
the
right there
Serpent
in the
Mound.
strip mines. If
And
you
they're-
go,
that's right. They are all
Right in
over
Alliance.
around
Oh,
here.
yeah, they're everywhere,
This
man.
is a very,
it's a
very,
lesser known
And
location
then
of
there's
the mounds
also a
people.
bunch,
That's right.
there's
That's
a bunch
right.
of pyramids all over the United States, but most of
That's-
them has been covered up.
That's right, and they don't let people know about this.
They
And-
let,
I
they let
get into
trees
those
and all this shit
conspiracy
grow over, and
theories.
they, that's a mountain. Nah, motherfucker, that's a pyramid. Whoops. I done did it again.
And that's a whole fascinating discussion because they found stuff that they say is Egyptian looking here in very, very
Here,
old,
there, and everywhere.
old places. I like the alternative history
Man,
stuff. I was an ancient
I think
history
they done
guy.
went all around the world teaching everybody all the technology,
And Atlantis.
personally.
Atlantis is another good one. my autistic son, Alex. He's huge on Atlantis. He loves Thoth.
I
and
got
that whole
into Atlantis
storyline.
when I was a kid, but you've heard so much about it. It kind of gets.
Well, because there's nothing, again, there's no record that's been stumbled on, or at least one
Play-Doh
that's
is the
known.
only thing
It's
to go
just kind
by.
that's right. It's just kind of a dead end. It's another dead end, There's probably people in the know.
It probably is sitting at the bottom of the ocean somewhere. I believe it. I believe there's probably
Well,
a
of
place and all
course.
that.
Come on,
But
of course there is, because look at what's happened down in Antarctica right now. Pictures are starting to come out, and there's things going on down there. And you got to be careful, though, too. Because
Well,
this
humanity
AI
has covered up cities for years. There's
Yep.
so many cities across the
cities
United
on
States.
top of cities on
so
top
many
of cities.
across the world who have been covered up. So it's not uncommon of a theory.
Right. And the winners rewrite history to suit them.
The
So,
victors
Heck
write
yeah,
the
girl.
stories.
Who knows?
That's my friend.
I love it. You're into the whole cryptid thing. I saw Tom wake up all of a sudden over here. He's like, "Oh my gosh,
here we go."
I don't really know about
I
art,
love cryptids.
but I love
Like,
cryptids."
You
And,
guys, I
right.
should have brought more of the paintings, but I did a whole collection of cryptids.
Nice.
Like
What
a
else did you do?
thylacine. I did a thylacine.
what's that?
A thylacine is a cryptid that was also supposed to be rumored to origin from this area. It was kind of like a hyena as well, but also like a cougar.
Right. Okay. I had something. I tell my buddies that
I love mystical creatures.
the house that
it's
I
like my thing.
just recently moved out of.
You ever see any fairies?
I have seen a lot of
I've
fairies.
seen
They're
some
my
too.
favorite.
They was downtown though.
I have, but only when I was
In
drinking
Alliance?
absinthe.
No, in Canton.
I seen the green fairy.
It was all dressed in weird colors and stuff.
And she
Those are my
was
favorite kind of people.
beautiful.
No, I hear tell though. I've talked to a few people that swear they've seen those too.
I seen the absinthe
Fairies.
fairy.
I've never seen one, but I ain't gonna say they ain't there because
Maybe you have, dear.
maybe I have.
Maybe they saw you.
That's for sure. And they went running.
I saw it, and
Or
it saw
flying.
me.
Flying.
When you notice
I
them,
already
they
do.
notice you. How about astral projection, young lady? You've dabbled in a lot of interesting things. You get into that at all?
I tend to not discuss.
Well, I'm really big into it right now. And I'll discuss the
I'm
hell
well
out of it.
read and well versed in astral projection, but and
It's pretty spooky because the one that I've been doing right now, it's pretty wild what our minds are capable of.
or
What's wild is what we're connected to, and people
remote
don't know it.
viewing. Are you versed in
Oh,
remote
big
viewing and the
time,
government conspiracies
Oh,
around
yeah,
remote
yeah.
viewing?
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing
Yeah,
their
remote viewing.
Well,
I've read a lot about remote viewing
I'm
and
not
the
remote.
CIA and
okay, so you know what we're talking about.
yes, I'm a
doing
very
hemi-
intelligent woman. I
That's
know
right.
what you're talking about.
I'm doing the Hemisync one. I fell into it whenever I discovered marriage counseling. It just came to me and it worked. It
Some
actually
people
worked
are
really
just
well.
born with insight into another realm.
Well, and whenever you do that and you combine the meditation that these tapes do, they were using it for unpacking PTSD.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And also a lot of PTSD. I have PTSD, but a lot of PTSD
Me too, from
survivors,
surgery.
I got
they naturally can have an ability to
THC.
disconnect from the body like that.
Right, exactly.
So when
You
you
have
start
to.
to study those kind of psychological viewpoints
They don't
and
know
inner
what we're
workings of the
talking
brain.
no. We're in our own conversation
Okay.
over here. Leave us alone.
That's all right.
I
Keep
get
going.
deep. I'm sorry,
That's all
y'all.
right.
I
No.
didn't realize we were
We-
diving
no.
straight down head first
the
into
That
the
was a
rabbit
little
hole.
joke that I stabbed in that you guys didn't catch. That's all.
Because I'll dive
in.
straight
He
down,
heard me,
y'all.
but y'all didn't.
I'm doing,
Anyway,
yeah, we're-
Talking shit? Are
Yeah,
you talking
I
shit about
was.
shit over there?
I certainly was.
Yeah, he definitely is talking.
I'm doing the level 23 right now, which was one of the newer ones, and I just found it in the list, and it's pretty wild because when you go to level 23, it says that these are all the folks that are disconnected from the physical realm now that you can see.
They have no
And
idea what we're talking about,
It's
do
pretty
they?
wild. No,
No, I know.
They're
what
like,
he's
he
talking
does.
about.
He does.
I
He has
know
a
what-
pretty good idea.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
No, but
But you know, when you tell people when you're meditating, I don't
Yeah, they
see
didn't
myself
hear it. You have to watch the
because you're
replay.
astral.
Yeah.
You're gonna-
What's that? What y'all talking about over there? Lemonade.
You
Yeah,
said you
we
had
went out the deep end.
PTSD, and I said I had THC. I was like, what the hell did I even say?
HD.
I should have known it was some kind of
it was
background
just
stoner
stupid,
shit
yeah.
up in here.
Jibber. Jabber.
It was
We're
just
trying to have a
dumb
deep
mess.
intellectual conversation here, Eddie.
And that's what I
know,
do.
right? Well, it's just because it's been.
That's what I identify as an idiot.
I'm really into that stuff. So you're into the cryptid thing though. So what other cryptids did you see?
Just, I mean, isn't that enough?
Well,
How
you
many
said
people
Mothman.
can say
When did you
they've
get to
seen
that one?
Mothman?
Where'd you see that at? Because that's a heavy one. They made a movie about him. Was that in Ohio?
Yeah, it was at the lake too. It's like a hot spot if you research it. Like Westville
yeah.
Lake's a hot spot in that area
I know.
for
I've heard
sightings.
about it. You know.
Yeah, it's sightings of all sorts of cryptids. There's this. It's a.
So the
interesting
question
area.
there at hand is why is this area so
Well,
high
I'm
in cryptids?
I'm a heavy believer in meridians, magnetic forces that go within the Earth's.
because
Yeah. Ley lines.
check
and all
this
that
out.
Stuff.
Yeah, meridian lines and
So we're like one of the
it
states that
falls
has
on
the
one of
highest
those, as well as Downtown Alliance,
of all
and that
that
falls
stuff.
into some deep architectural views.
Plate tectonics.
You want to hear something that'll
Deeper
trip
than
you
that,
out?
Masonic architecture. You ever gotten into that?
Yes.
You ever got in that Masonic
No, I went
architecture,
down
man?
I went way down that route.
You went way down that rabbit hole.
Yes, I did.
You look like somebody who drove down that rabbit hole. I've done down that rabbit hole.
I had an idea.
But I'm not.
He's
I'm
down
not
a rabbit
affiliated.
hole.
I am not affiliated. I mean, we're brothers. I
You
could
see
say that.
Alice
We're
down there?
the same.
Did you do
Yeah.
some-
Did you find
do
Alice down
some-
the rabbit hole?
Did you do some heavy drugs?
Hey.
Me? Oh, dude,
guys,
I-
How about the
no.
Queen of Hearts? Did you see her while you was down there?
I did. You know, I went on that journey. I thought I'd find it through psychedelics. And there, I did find the Amanita muscara. That's a 3-day, 72-hour trip. It goes way back.
So you did find the caterpillar sitting on the mushroom.
Yes, but I never got to do it. And you know, I tried other avenues, but when I found once you open your third eye, it's open. You don't need it. After that, you're doing it recreationally for fun, just because you like the experience, I guess. But once that third eye is open, then I don't know, you're just re-triggering it, I guess. I never got the same thing from fungus, though. I always wanted to try that one, though. But you have to go over to Scandinavia, I think, to do it properly, and there's only a select couple. It's like ayahuasca. Mm-hmm. I'd really like to try that. I'd really like to do that DMT thing that everybody talks about.
That
Well,
was
ain't
into
that
that
what
Terrence
ayahuasca
McKenna I was
basically
talking
is?
you
Yeah,
about.
8 minutes. It's 8 minutes of very intense stuff. But that's what I'm already experiencing chemical free through the really deep meditation I'm doing. I'm at level 25 now, where all mystical beliefs are born. And that was a real heavy one the other day. But when you're at 23 and you see these different light pinpoints, if that is indeed what you're seeing, it's really kind of fascinating, because the guy that's taking you step through, he says a couple times, 23, the thing to remember is you can help when you're in this place. And then he describes the people that have basically crossed over. And they
23.
Isn't that a movie?
Don't get
I
Dr.
know, right?
Fincher.
Ah, right. See, and I brought that up, and he didn't see it either, I don't think.
I mean, it was a
23.
theory before it was a movie, but
But 23 is the level that you're at for this
you're playing
particular-
into numerology
Isn't
there.
that
Yeah.
basketball player?
This is the particular number of the particular exercise.
That
That's
particular
all it is.
dude who used to play for
And
Cleveland.
for this exercise, for
She.
seeing those who have disconnected from this
F you.
physical realm, their energy moving on, that it does move on, and it's really kind of interesting on where we go after this if I don't know, all energy keeps moving.
Absolutely, yeah.
What that means exactly, I don't know.
And when
I
you
don't
make
know.
art, your energy is constantly moving, and
yeah.
it's leaving a permanent impact on the society and the
Exactly.
existence and time frame in which you are.
And there's
So
a
art
lot
is
of-
super important to history,
Yep.
humanity,
Yep.
and culture
Art should-
within our social
agree with that.
structure.
Art can shock you. It can be beautiful. It can be a lot of things, but it should make you question things. Above
Wake
all.
you up.
Right. It should somehow make you look at things a little different, maybe. And I like all kinds of art. Who are some of your favorites? Because we haven't even talked about that. Influences. Who influences you?
Frida Kahlo, one of the leading artists who were kind of the only one when you read about art history who was a disabled artist. I'm actually, I am a survivor of a numerous disabilities. And when you're an artist, sometimes art can be your outlet for everything. Sometimes it's just how you can speak beyond what words can ever convey. And I feel like one of the people who paved the path for female disabled artist is Frida Kahlo. She's also kind of like a saint in Mexico. So she's one of my huge influences with her
played her in that
surrealist
movie?
style.
She asked, what meditation are you doing? There in the chat.
The gateway process or the gateway experience. You'll see it. It's tagged by CIA and stuff. They're all over. You can find them on YouTube all over the place.
I've done several Tibetan meditations that I really enjoy.
And you got to find what suits you, right? Because that's the thing. I did that when I was doing the pineal gland activation. It took me a long time to find the frequency that worked for me. You got to try a couple of them out because they're really great. Because it'll even just help you sleep better. You'll find yourself going into a very restful
I use them
sleep.
to go into sleep with almost every night.
This
Different
is more,
ones.
This is more. It has a hypnotism based. You're going to hypnotize yourself.
Yeah, that one you don't want to sleep to.
Yeah, this is when you want to. And you want to stay on this side of the wall of sleep, I call it. And that's where you really have some really strange things can happen sometimes when you're doing that work against self, ego.
So I says to myself, self.
shadow work, whatever you want to call it. That ego where you're wrestling against your own will in a way.
Shadow work. I've enjoyed reading a lot about shadow work. Have you heard of the Red Book?
I squashed one the other
We're
day.
getting into some heavy stuff now.
I am slightly obsessed with the Red Book. I have a feeling you might have read about the Red Book.
I was real big into
In the young philosophy.
well, and I still am. Yes,
I love young
I
philosophy.
quoted him today. You know, he who knows both sides, the light and the dark, quickly gets in the middle. I
I've
love
studied the
that.
Red Book in depth.
love
It's a
that.
slight obsession of mine.
Okay, now that's his book, right?
Yes.
And that's the one with his dream interpretations in it, his own stuff.
It's a rather controversial piece
Right.
of
Yes,
art.
it
That
is.
camera's junk. It only lasts for so
Man,
long.
I want to see it.
But we're done with him. We only use him for the halftime. We're
Alex?
done with his visuals, yeah.
His video, yeah. Well, we're still getting it together here.
I mean,
with
it's got a good-
technology and all that.
Picture,
But now we're getting into the
Hey, Paul, what's up?
we're getting into the fun stuff. So you want to, I know you're dying to tell your Bigfoot story. So what was your Bigfoot story?
have
Yes,
a
tell me
Bigfoot
about your
story.
You did?
Bigfoot.
I thought you did.
No, I mean,
Well, when did you see a cryptid? How
I
did you
haven't-
become associated with a cryptid
He loves
concept?
because what happened was we was camping down in Marietta, and I don't know nothing about all. I was young and asleep,
That's a hot spot, Marietta.
and we was all asleep, and this thing was on the mountainside right by us, and I guess screamed, and my brother, it woke him up and about made him piss his pants, and he was up the rest of the night. This thing, if you look up Ohio Howl on YouTube, he says that's what it sounded like. It just that typical whatever, but when I used to hunt down in Conshohocken when I was about 13-ish, we'd be out in the woods and I would hear, and now I watched a documentary where it says that they mimic all these animals in the woods and whatnot, and this dude went in the woods where he used to live for the whole summer and did all this recording and did this crazy shit and found out that they even make bird sounds that sounds like birds. This one was doing a bird sound from a bird that wasn't even from that area. But it wasn't quite exactly like the bird. It was adding little piece before and after what the bird would sound like. And so my point was we was way out in the middle of nowhere in Conshohocken. Like, I mean, way out in the middle of nowhere. There's no houses. There's no nothing. And I would hear dogs barking every now and again. And once in a while, you would think I thought I would hear shit or whatever, and I just brushed it off because I didn't really know any different. It wasn't until I seen the footage of the Patterson-Gimlin footage, obviously, when you see it, I was like, oh, but, that was before that, I guess. But I never thought about when I was in the woods hunting to think about a Bigfoot or whatever. I just never
Man, I went looking for him. I watched Bigfoot and Wild Boy when I was a kid, man.
Nothing
and that
comes
was
to
And
you
I'm
if you go
sure-
looking. You gotta
Right,
wait for
you
it.
gotta-
I
that's
was about
exactly
5
it.
years old, and I wanted my own Bigfoot, man. I went back there looking for him in the strip mines.
If you sit down and get you and just chill, just like when you're hunting, like if you squirrel hunt, you can't just roam the woods. You got to sit down, and because once you walk in, everything in there knows you're there. So you sit down, you make no noise, and then everything starts to come back and go back to normal. And they're curious if you're camping and you're there by a fire and it's nighttime, they want to come watch TV, and you're it. You're the TV. Why doesn't anybody have footage of these things? Well, let me tell you what. How many people out there that went deer hunting for the first time, and when you went to shoot that deer, how was your heart beating, and you could barely hold that gun onto that deer to even shoot it? Now, can you imagine if you was in the woods and you seen something 10 foot tall and as wide as a car in front of you? Are you going to pull your camera out and take excellent video footage of it? Hell
Also,
no.
how do you capture something that's traveling between realities?
And there's that. I was going to get there, but yeah, then there's that. And they supposedly can cloak themselves, and there's all this other stuff. So yeah, but the biggest thing I say is, even if without all that, when you're looking at something that's not supposed to be real, and you're seeing something that's 4 times your size, you're shitting your pants. I don't care who you are. You're not that badass anymore. You're crying for mommy and you're praying to Jesus is what you're doing. I guarantee it. I was froze.
You know, I was.
And the
born-
people that do get footage, even though it's grainy and this and that and the other, is amazing. And if you want to know how they prove it, go to YouTube, go to Thinker Thunker, and look up the DNA proportional measurements. That's a scientific way to prove whatever they're showing. He shows it all how to do it. And if you don't believe, go watch that.
I'm a paranormal guy. and
That's what made me a believer.
I seen shadow beings. You
I've
know.
seen all that shit too.
That's the one that screwed with my head that I saw. I didn't see a Bigfoot, but I saw a shadow person. Like legit in my, like, I woke up out of a dead sleep and someone was standing in my room staring at me. And by the time I pulled focus on it, it looked like it was taking a step towards me, but then it just dissipated like smoke. That's the only way I can describe it. It looked like it was moving in my direction, but like it was gone after that.
I've seen that shit before.
And I
too.
was like, all right, so what the hell
what
was that?
was that?
I mean, how do you explain that? You know, and
No.
I'm awake right now, you know, and I just saw that, you know. I was into the ghost stuff.
I just think some people's more in tune with it than other people. I mean, now I don't think it. I know.
You guys were creatives. Did you have invisible friends growing up?
You want to take the lead on that, Lemonade?
Art's a
Yeah.
solitary practice.
I had an invisible friend.
You know, I had 2, my mother said.
I had 2. Go ahead, Lennon. You take the lead.
Man, I'm jealous.
Tell
I
us
ain't
about
had
your
none.
imaginary friend, baby.
I had no imaginary friends, no regular friends.
Somehow I see
Yeah.
that.
You're being a creative, you know, it's a solitary process.
I was really weird too. I bet you saw that.
And that, and that doesn't help sometimes, you know, it works against you. And that makes us even more, you know, introverted, kind of. I don't know.
I was a paste eater for sure.
Not the paste eater.
I was a paste eater too.
I saw that.
Paste eaters are us. That's funny, man.
How was that, pasty?
Pretty.
Minty fresh. Smell my breath. Look, I can make stuff stick to it.
Pasty.
Well, we've definitely gone right.
It
at-
tasted a little bit like a Necco. You know that
Oh,
candy?
Yeah. I always said that tasted opaque. You know, it smells
Chalky.
it smells like acrylics, kinda in a way. You know,
Oh,
there's a few that are like that.
nobody knows what really makes you creative. It's eating paste.
Right, exactly.
An imaginary friend.
I had 2 imaginary friends my grandma used to tell me about, and I named them after candy.
Really?
Mike and Ike, and they lived in the mirror.
Isn't Candy a
Ooh, that's
stripper?
awesome. That's a good one. They lived in the mirror.
Yeah, my grandma said I used to talk to Mike and Ike in the mirror when I was a little girl.
Oh, that is trippy, man. They say mirrors are portals like that, you know?
Yeah.
What were you seeing? What
I
did
don't
they-
remember.
tell
I
you
was
what,
a
I remember.
freaking baby.
You don't remember?
We can get my dude Rallo on there. Boy, does
mine
he
was
got
in
a
my
mirror
head.
story.
What's that?
Mine was in my head.
I often wonder if mine was, because I don't remember it as clearly as my mother does, obviously.
Yeah, I don't remember it. My grandmother does.
I just remember her saying it sounded like I was talking to two people, clearly two.
I don't remember it either. I was too young.
It's funny. You know, I just wonder if that's a trend with creatives, you know. I like asking that question. So we're all kind of close to the same age, and, you know.
Whoa, I'm not as old as y'all.
Not
Wait
you.
a
I'm
minute.
talking to him.
Wait a minute.
I'm looking at
I'm
him.
Y'all
out.
are old people. I'm a young woman.
I'm looking at him and talking to him. So,
All right, I'm just saying.
And if, you know,
Hey.
the approaching 50 you
What?
Good.
How old are you, Lennon?
could talk to that young guy. That young guy, when he was an artist and
Approaching
coming up,
50.
you know what I'm saying? What would you tell him? What kind of advice would you give him, man? I like throwing that zinger.
Don't drink the milk, it's spoiled.
You got anything you tell him? If you
Keep creating and doing what you're doing.
could, no secret cheat codes or anything to get through life? I need to point that question.
Buy gold.
Buy gold. Yeah, buy gold.
F
Buy
the
lemon
dollar.
crystal art murals, and you're investing in your future.
Netflix.
Yeah, no doubt.
Net zero. Buy
Microsoft,
MySpace.
dude, when it comes around. Buy into it.
Oh, man. I can't believe it. We rolled it up on time, almost all the way there. We're coming up on the end. What was your question tonight you want to roll it out with at the end tonight?
You guys swing?
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
What?
No. The question is, look, everybody was like, wait, what? If you was to have dinner, now whichever one goes first, with anybody at any time period that's already passed away, who would it be?
That's good, because it works for both of them. It's not an age question. And it could be anybody,
Yeah,
because
anybody.
Who did Mike give us the other day that I like? Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
Ray Liotta was the last one. A lot of people will go with mom right away,
Yeah,
or a
it's-
religious
it's-
figure.
It's my mom.
Yeah, that's a good one,
She passed away. So.
and that is a real common one.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
I wish every day I could spend one more day with her. So.
And we hear that every time he asks that question. Just about. How about you, lady?
You're still over there thinking about it.
I don't know.
That's a tough one.
Michelangelo. I want to ask him about the Pope and his commission and
Nice.
the real inside story
Mm-hmm.
with Michelangelo.
You know, Nostradamus would have been a good one, too.
Man, that's another good one.
Uh-huh.
You know, after the fact, they come to me. You
Uh-huh.
know? And it was like, if I had to like narrow it to like, I don't know. I think Edgar Allan Poe.
That's
Would
a
be
good
my
one. That's a
choice.
good one, Eddie.
But then I don't know. I don't know if I could just end with just him. 'Cause there's
Yeah, you gotta
so
be one, man.
Many others, you know, that are like, hey, what about me? A lot of influences in there, you know.
I said Cleopatra.
Pablo Picasso.
Yeah, that's a good one. I got a cool Picasso book in my collection, man.
That's who that's the artist I like.
And I got a couple nice Dollies and Van Goghs and Paul Klee.
Oh, nice.
I like Paul Klee's stuff. It's very, very fun. Rothko. What's the one I was just looking at? We were just talking about Ron English out front. I really like Ron English's stuff. He's another one. I like dark humor, you know. Alex Ross in the comic world. That guy raises the bar every time he does something.
Yes.
I consider him the master. There's a lot of guys working in the comic medium that are freaking me out right now. I call it hyper-realism they're doing.
What's the other guy? The artist.
In comics?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you're going to have to be more specific than that. We'll drive him crazy. Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko.
Yeah. Jack Kirby.
That's the man. That's him.
Got him.
That's the guy.
Got him on the first one.
That's the guy.
I like Frank Miller, Bill Sienkiewicz, Neil Adams. Love, shout out, R.I.P. Neil. He just died. I love Neil Adams. I like all those old comic books, man. Do you still collect it all? Like any modern titles? We were talking about your 2099 original.
No, I've collected Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's it. That's good,
Yeah.
man, because you know
Gone to a
what?
couple
As wrapped up as you are in your own, I could see why you
Comic-Cons.
wouldn't want to taint yourself with other people's shit. Because your stuff is so multi-layered. And I could see why you don't really want to dive too much into the schematics of it, because it is beautiful how you tied it all together. I love it.
I got other dimensions.
Right. And I can't wait to see it out and available where people can actually turn the pages and check it out.
That'd
man.
be cool.
I mean, you're getting to such an interesting point in all of it from what you were showing me in the gallery the other night, man. That was great. And you got 44 pages, which is a great graphic novel. It's a great
Thank you.
size, you know? And yeah, your art is really, I tell you, I knew you were doing stuff, but I didn't know it was stuff like this. All I was seeing was the wood carving stuff that you were doing, you know? And I really
That
like,
one's awesome.
That one's called Banana Eyes.
I really like your stuff. And that triptych that's down there at the gallery right now.
Now, I don't know if that would have been higher up, but when it was sitting over there, when Z was here, I was looking at it, and I was like, oh, this one don't quite do. And then I was kind of focused right into the eyeball at the top, and then it was like, and that red kind of started popping out, and I was like, oh, there it is, buddy.
I like
she's
that
looking at-
onomatopoeia.
I don't see it. I don't see it. It's like, I don't know. You got to be.
My
I don't
brain
know.
is still hung up on artists. It's not the Monet book. She already said Frida, so I know it's not that. I can't remember this artist's name. It's going to drive me crazy for the next 3 days. Are we, we're off this Sunday. No live show.
Edvard. Do you like Edvard?
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of Edvard Munch.
I have the Shriek Ice Cream Man comic. They did the great artists, and they did it that
And
one.
that abstract expressionist style, that's something that my work draws from.
They
for
did
sure.
the dolly, the dolly with the real long legs. They did the Ice Cream Man cover like that. That was a real hard one. I had a hell of a time finding that. It was $100 back in the day when I got it. And the Van Gogh was real nice because it was like a self-portrait of him, and I think he's missing an ear. And I'm missing one. Javen Jordan. He did a really cool Mona Lisa, I think, that was part of that same run. They did all these fine art ones. And then that kind of led to some other fine art ones. They're reproducing everything, you know? Everything's being reproduced in comic books. Like that format, that medium is being used to bring a lot of fine art to an audience that might not normally see it. I love it. Cross promotion, like we were talking about. It's really kind of cool.
Yeah. I try not to get influenced by anybody else's stuff. So.
And you know, whenever I'm painting, I'm the same way. I am. I don't know. But I do like to look through those art books when I'm not to find inspiration. You know, sometimes just seeing the right color is all it takes.
Yeah.
You know how that stuff goes. The muse is strange.
My dad gave me one. It's called Flaming Carrot Comics.
That's a great one, man. I love that book. I liked a lot of that underground stuff. Kitchen Sink Press, I think, did that book, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Kitchen Sink Press. I had some of those. Cerebus the Aardvark, Akira, Mage the Changing.
What's his name?
We could run titles all night. Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued by your guys'
Ghost
cosplay
Rider.
thing, too,
Isn't
that you
that
guys
your
are
favorite?
talking about.
Your favorite
That's-
was Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
I like Ghost Rider. That's a good one, too. I really like that first that number one.
The
Marvel
ghost
premiere.
is kind of like my thing. Like my handle on Twitch is Ghost Brush, and
Oh, we definitely got
kind of
to
Ghost Writers, and my other brand is Ghost to Reality. So everything's kind of centered on the ghost
Ghosty
behind the
ghost.
scenes,
Nice.
kind of deal.
That's awesome, man.
Well, we brought you both a sticker for Lemon Chrystal.
Yes.
Sweet.
We love getting stuff.
Yes.
We love getting stuff. That's awesome, guys.
It is. Thank you very much.
That's another
And
collab-
you'll have to come visit us there.
Design.
And
Yeah, we
just
did that
there.
together, that logo.
We got to come check out the space.
For
And
sure. It'll
After
be fun.
we go, whenever we go off air here, you got to have them sign the door too.
Yeah.
Get these artists
I
up on there.
suppose.
Yeah, some of
Even
these
though that's
great
for the
artists.
live show people.
Oh, that's right. That's for the other show. We need to, get.
We're still live.
to get you guys to sign some of your merch for us too.
Awesome.
We want to come up and check you guys out too for sure. We got a lot of things going on, man. Everybody's super busy. It's cool. There's things happening.
The arts
and-
are thriving here in Ohio.
That's right. And I'm so glad we all bumped into each
The
other.
underground is surfacing again after COVID. And,
Right.
And we're rebuilding, and it's
And
a
that's
strong
great
community, man.
way of putting it. There's a rebuilding phase
Right.
going on right now, and we're all on the ground level, and things are coming up right now.
Heck yeah.
So if you want to get involved, you need to reach out. Reach out. Get involved.
LemonCrystal.com.
The Outhouse podcast,
Media Farm.
where we grow the hits.
Hit us up, y'all.
We love talking shit about shit.
We do. Is that it then? Are we out of here? Is the show over?
I think it's about
Hell
that
no.
time.
All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Everybody in the chat, thanks for
talking shit.
doing your thing in there.
You guys, it was so
Come
much
back
fun
and
having
see
you
us
on.
next Wednesday. Go back and check
It
out some
was.
of our live shows with the bands and the whatnots. Go back and check out some of the other shows.
Hit that bell.
Subscribe.
We want to get monetized. Help us out.
We need paid.
Tell somebody.
Mother-